Watching them right now. We just don't know it yet.
I'm loving all the terminology here.
A lot of crossover.
Love it. And just going back to you taking a catch, I don't think you need a baseball mitt. Have you seen the size of your hands?
Yeah, well,
It's Deepinder Singh Ari into the attack.
I don't have Kawhi Leonard hands.
Well, these are just chubby hands.
He's got huge hands.
He claims to be leggy. Deepinder Singh Ari not featuring in much of the 50 overs, so really good inclusion this from Nepal. Take a look at that previous delivery. It looks like it's difficult conditions to bat out there, isn't it? Ball's not coming on as nicely as they would hope for. Usually is a bit difficult to bat on these tracks. The first hour or so is always difficult. You want to try and get 12 o'clock, 12:15 or so when it starts to settle down. But it's a T20. We don't have that kind of time.
Yeah. It's crazy how it changes so much, too. So many variables. It's not like that on a basketball court. We saw him with the steamroller before the match, trying to get it right.
Well, it's going to be Shreyas walking out to the middle. He's come in early today, earlier than you would have expected. Thanks to some quick wickets picked up by Nepal. Very experienced campaigner in Shreyas, known for his glove work behind the stumps. And well, he's pretty much known as Mr. Consistent around here because he is so consistent at scoring runs every time he comes out to the middle.
That's how you get rotational minutes, or not minutes, at bats, when the coach knows what to expect out of you.
Oh, he's off the mark. Patted into the leg side.
You know, from a coach's perspective, there's nothing worse when you trying to play a player and you just don't know what to expect.
Well, that's sport in general, isn't it? You're either in form or you're not. Very unlike Nick Curtin's shot there. Very defensive, and to be honest, he's not played very defensive at all in the entire time that he's been around, whether it's the 50 over or the T20 version. Just says that this track has something in it, and especially for the spinners. It's going to be the end of the 7th over, 39 for 3.
The all-new Nissan Kicks. Ready for whatever you're into. Get your kicks.
Went 39 for 3, 7 overs gone. They're going at 5.5 runs and over here. You'd expect they're going to need about 140, 150 on the card to have a defendable total against Nepal.
Just need the right hot streak. Get back on track here.
Well, the last over, just 2 runs coming off. It just goes to show that there is something in there for the spinners. And a good inclusion in Deepinder Singh Ari. Well, you come from a basketball background. You've played some baseball growing up as well. What are some of the similarities that you've noticed? Whether it be in training, strategy. Oh, and a big shy at the stumps. That's just missed the stumps. He might have been comfortably home, though. Shreyas is pretty quick.
That was risky. Yeah, I mean, to me, like, as a professional athlete, it's about the preparation. We were watching the 2 squads warm up before the match, and just having that routine. And we talked about the consistency so that you can perform consistently every single time you step on the field at the highest level possible. You know, when you reach this level, let's take another look. See how close he came to hitting it. Ooh, that was close.
Well, that's just an example
there
of how quick Shreyas is. An early call from him, running to the danger end.
But that preparation prevents injury. it creates the consistency with your performance. And then the other side, just the teamwork, developing chemistry. We talk about, especially with these national teams, this isn't your club team. You're not necessarily playing with them year round. You're just kind of getting thrown together. Yeah, you got a bunch of talent, but this is still a team sport. And having that camaraderie and chemistry is so important.
Well, leading edge. It's a dot ball in the end, but really making life hard here for the Canadian batters.
Another interesting thing, they were lined up for the anthems. In a vacuum, take the sport out of it. The Canadian team was so much bigger than the team from Nepal. And I'm like, wait, how is Nepal supposedly so much better at cricket than this Canadian team? Because in any other sport, like, you're that much bigger and more rugged. You think that's a huge advantage, but not necessarily here.
Well, half an appeal. There might have been some bat on that. Just a slight signal from Shreyas Mova as well.
Yeah, maybe a little high. I would not want to be the umpire.
Well, he's definitely taking that on the thigh. He's getting a little bit of treatment there, getting out the magic spray.
Oh, yep. I know the magic spray. Freeze it up.
Deal with it later.
Oh, yeah. Gonna have a nice knot when he wakes up tomorrow morning. Not the best thing when you got, 4 more matches or whatever it is after this.
He's probably gonna have a nice
3
shiner
more
on there as well.
Yeah. You get some ultrasound, some electric stim, break it up. Beautiful day out, though. This is what you want. Outdoor sport, this type of weather. Not too hot, not too cold.
Moving well across the stumps there, Shreyas Mova, and looks like it's gone
Yep.
straight onto the thigh. But just going back to what you were saying about the team atmosphere and the team environment and why it's so important, camaraderie is massive. Like you said, it's not like they're together all year round. And somehow, when you don't have the best of chemistry, it does end up showing during your play, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think also, like with any national team, the longer the program is established, that helps too, because then you have like the same players coming back year after year, and then maybe they go on to help coach the national team as well. And you have such a young program like Canada. I think it's going to take a little time to kind of build that up. A team like Nepal, they've had a storied national team forever. Cricket's just such a huge sport there that they already have that foundation within that organization in place. That creates advantage when it comes to achieving that chemistry we were talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. They do have some really good organization in Nepal. But that being said, Canada actually is not new to the game of cricket. In fact, the first ever international, as we see another swing and a miss from Nick Curtin, the first ever international game was played between USA Canada. Ever. Yes, Johnny McDonald days.
Then maybe it's the new excitement surrounding
I think T20 cricket. Well, T20 cricket
T20,
overall. Yeah, it's really revolutionized the game. But even then, cricket's been around for a long time in Canada. I think now we're just starting to see an explosion because immigration's definitely helping that. I've seen an influx of immigrants from countries that come from cricket playing backgrounds. Flicked off the pads. It should be a couple runs here. They're both quick between the wickets. And this maybe overthrows. Mova was interested. Nick Curtin had his back to him. But the runs have really slowed down. That's going to be the end of the 8th over. 43 for 3.
But before that, yeah, it was a train wreck up there. I'm like, listen, if I'm going to get into broadcasting, I got to straighten these puppies out.
Yeah, different role being on camera, on broadcast.
That's right.
Well, chip down the ground, and they might just settle for the one here. They know the arms of these Nepalese fielders are quite strong. Nice flat throws. Well, the action's really slowed down here from the Canadians, hasn't it? They haven't been able to pick up a boundary in some time.
Yeah, I mean, the Nepal fielding has just been so crisp.
Use of the feet, and that's a one-handed shot, lofted straight down the ground into the retaining net. Well, Nicholas, correction, it's Shreyas Mova, and he's had enough of it. Picks up 6 runs here.
Nice shot right there. Team Canada needed that one, too. Hopefully that gets them going.
Well, and just the elegance at which he finished that shot off one-handed. Nothing like seeing a shot like that.
Yeah, I like the one-handed finish, kind of the Ken Griffey Jr.
Almost adds a little bit of insult to the bowlers, though, doesn't it?
Yeah. I know it's a civil sport, but
Well, it can get quite rough in the middle. Not as rough as hockey gets.
That's true.
But there are always some words exchanged out in the middle. Of course, spirit of cricket is a big one.
Yeah, it looks like they lost the ball. Looks like me when I'm golfing. Just in the woods looking for my ball every other shot.
Expecting a big crowd. The first T20 of 6 to come. And it is Saturday here. If you're in the area, do come on down. It's going to be an action-packed game.
Yeah, we keep it going, too. 5 more days of this. So come down, celebrate cricket. Canada. It's amazing how they transform these grounds. Brought in these bleachers, got all the big corporate sponsorships.
A lot of giveaways as well if you're in the area. The yellow towels you see on everyone's head. No Frills giving those out today. Also, you get some free drinks from Coca-Cola.
Yeah, I'm a big No Frills fan. That's where I shot.
Oh, reverse this time. Oh, and that is fielded well. It was traveling at some speed.
Man, the Nepal fielding is just incredible. I would have gotten out of the way of that one if that was me. Coming that hard.
I don't think the fielding coach would appreciate that very
much. No, he wouldn't. I'm like, I think I value my fingers too much.
That one coming into Shreyas Mova. And it's going to be the end of the 10th over. 53 for 3. We're also going to take a quick drinks break here. We'll be back momentarily.
TD is supporting cricket in more ways than ever. Because we believe Canada needs more cricket. How's that? TD, ready for you.
Well, we're going to have a slight change in the comm box. I'm joined by Vivek Jacob as Matt Bonner takes a bit of a break. Welcome, Vivek. And this is good signs if you're a Nepal fan and slightly worrying signs if you're a Canadian fan.
Yeah, thanks for bringing me in, Manali. Nice to be chatting with you and everyone listening in. Definitely a bit of tough times here for Canada. You look at Nicholas Curtin not really getting going yet, 4 off 14. Shreyas Mova obviously had that big 6, and we'll see if he can carry on from there. You look at Nepal's bowling, just top all around. You look at especially the way the spinners have come in, and you look at Dipender Singh Airi and Sandeep Lamichhane, 3 overs for 12 runs. That's what you want to see in this format.
Well, he's been incredible with the ball, hasn't he, Dipender Singh Airi? And quite a bit of a shocker that they didn't have him included in the 50-over games, because that's exactly what he brings. You know, he's a good bat, he's a top-level bowler, and absolutely electric in the field.
And that's what you want in this format. Players who can contribute in different areas.
Are you surprised with the opening pair for Canada today? It's going to be Dipender Singh to come back into the action after the drinks break. Just going to wait on the DJ to stop playing the music as we get on with the action. Umpire Arnold Medella just asking him to calm down. Well, just look at the effort this. Dipender Singh Airi, he's a bowler, and he's run all the way past the 30-yard to field off his own bowling.
And you
quite
could see
electric.
You could see how quickly Nicholas Curtin and Shreyas Mova moved to get that first. They definitely wanted to come back for the second there, but just fantastic effort from Singh Airi to prevent that.
Were you surprised with the opening pair today? I thought we might see Dilpreet Bajra come in and open the bat today.
I wasn't, just because I feel like that's just a natural pairing between Dhaliwal and Johnson. You've got the one guy who can consolidate, and you've got the one guy who can really get after it, and then Dilpreet Bajra can come in and do his thing.
Oh, well, he was looking to come down the track, and Shreyas Mova has done well to keep that leg in the line.
Well, you should know, as a keeper, you should know how quickly the man behind him is ready to whip off the bails. So, smart bit of footwork there. Looking to come down, but smart enough to stay behind that crease.
Well, the switch hit again, and this time he can't quite get through. There's a bit of a hand on it. It'll come through for a single. He's tried that shot a few times now, Shreyas Mova. Hasn't quite gotten the reward that he is used to getting.
No, but he loves that shot, so he's going to keep going for it. He's going to keep testing that field and see if he can come up with a boundary.
This is a different version of Nick Curtin that we're seeing today. It's so unlike what we've seen in the ODIs. 5 of 16.
Just unable to get it away so far. He's going to need to clear the field here soon.
Well, he's giving himself some room, and he's gone. He's gone straight down the throat of Anil Shah, and this is a big moment for Nepal. Canada, things are going a bit wonky for them. They've just lost their 4th wicket. And it's the skipper, Nick Curtin, 5 of 17 today.
Tough day at the office for the captain. And you could see the pressure just building. When you have that many dots, at some point you've just got to throw caution to the wind and go for the big one. Unfortunately, just finding the hands along off.
Well, how important is this moment? They needed some runs, Canada, and it was Nick Curtin, who's been part of the run getters consistently. Canada now 55 for 4. They've just passed that halfway mark, and it's Dipender Singh Airi again. And there really is something out there for the spinners. Difficult conditions to bat this morning.
Just the 1 run off this over, and you can see the ball just keeping a bit low there, coming off the toe end of the bat, and as a result, just not able to get enough elevation, enough distance to clear that man at long off.
Slow through the air this time. Tempting Harsh Thakur. He's off the mark with a single. It's going to be the end of the 11th, 56 for 4.
As a business owner, you have a responsibility to give back to your community.
We hire local and we serve local.
Breakfast program, school program for kids.
Seniors bus program, providing transportation to and from the store.
like sat there for 3 hours explaining to him when to play and all that.
Well, that's another one, and it's Harsh Tucker. Sandeep Lamichhane comes in, and the first ball of the over, he gets a breakthrough. Things are completely falling apart for Canada here. Harsh Tucker, he's gone for 1 of 2 deliveries. What is happening out there for Canada today?
This is disaster for Canada. When you look at those 2 wickets that have just fallen, Nick Curtin, Harsh Tucker, who came in as the top scorer in the ICC World Cup League 2, and to come off that form and be dismissed so cheaply, it's a lot of pressure here now for Saad bin Zafar and Shreyas Mova, because again, the depth in the batting isn't quite there because you've lost Dylan Haliger through that injury. And so now, looking at the replay, just too close to the bat to really go for that shot. That late cut, just too close to the body and completely misread it.
Well, that one came into Harsh Tucker, and the stumps are knocked down. Canada 56 for 5, and they're loving it. Absolutely loving it. Nepal's here in numbers, and no surprise that they've come here to support their team. They do have a beautiful fan base, don't they? Just so much support.
And it's added so much to this atmosphere here today. And they'll be so thrilled to see the way their team has performed so far.
Well, it's an important toss to win, isn't it, today? Nepal winning the toss. They chose to have a bowl. There's a slip in place for Sandeep Lamichhane because it's Saad Zafar, the lefty, out in the middle. Well, this might be a mix-up. Oh, how close was this?
Pressure, pressure, pressure.
Where is he going? Where is
no
Saad
run
Zafar
there.
going?
No one wants to be on strike right now. It's just a tough situation. You know, you want to get a feel for the ball. You want to get that first run, but there was just none there. Lucky to escape.
Well, this is away, going away, and it's picked up 4 runs. Sandeep Lamichhane, after picking up a wicket, has just gone to the boundary. Saad Zafar, good way to get off of strike, picking up the boundary.
And a good way to forget about what just happened the previous ball. Put that behind you. Nice square cut to the fence. That'll have him feeling much, much better.
I'm not sure if he was hoping for his googly to go to the boundary or not, but Canada desperately need these runs, don't they?
They need every run they can get.
Again, 2 minds. Shreyas Mova says no. And he's a quick man between the wickets, so if he's saying no, there's probably good reason for that.
That was definitely a good call there. There was no single on offer. And you look now, just a slight change in the field. As we've got a short fine leg.
Pulled away a little short from Sandeep Lamichhane, and he gets the treatment. It's gone for 4 runs here. 2 boundaries coming off of Saad Zafar. Lamichhane a bit expensive in the spell despite the wicket. He won't be too worried about the boundaries though.
At this stage, you look at it, Canada still under 6 runs and over. So if you can get wickets, that's the order of the day. Looking at that replay, just too short, and Saad bin Zafar will be more than happy to take on a delivery like that and put it away to the fence.
Oh, this one's coming. It looks a bit too high. There was half a shout from Sandeep Lamichhane, but that's going to round us up for the 12th. 64 for 5, Canada.
As a business owner, you have a responsibility to give back to your community.
We hire local and we serve local.
Breakfast program, school program for kids.
Seniors bus program, providing transportation to and from the store.
Well, back to the action. 5 down with just 65 runs on the board and 12 overs gone. What do you think they're going to end off with?
I mean, right now you're probably hoping to get to 130, at least, just to feel that you have a competitive score on the board. At this rate, you look at 5 wickets in hand. You want these two to at least hang around for another 4 or 5 overs, and then really go after it.
But Deepinder Singh Ari has been quite unplayable so far. He's into his 4th over here. You'd expect that they might want to see him off because he has been so good with the ball. He's picked up 1 wicket. Again, not comfortable. The ball really doesn't look like it's coming onto the bat. A bit awkward in the bounce as well.
And he's getting through his overs quickly as well. You look at that, how quickly that second ball came in after the first. And that keeps the batsmen on their toes as well. They've got to constantly be mindful that the next delivery is coming. It just creates that extra bit of pressure. It doesn't allow you time to think.
Well, not just that, but you don't realize how quickly you're losing deliveries. Well, another shout again. I think that looked a bit high. The replay will give us a better look. Tough job being an umpire, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. No question about it. And here we see the replay. Harry coming around the wicket. Maybe just about pitching in line. That could have been hitting the stumps, but maybe just pitched outside the line of leg.
Well, using his feet this time, Shreyas down the track, and it's literally been singles and dots for Canada. They've just not been able to find those boundaries.
It's a difficult pitch from the looks of it. Ooh,
that
looks tight.
That was a tight
looks
call.
tight.
Well, the appeals have just come in so consistently from Nepal. It just really shows the sort of dominance that they have in this game.
It's clear that the batters are just struggling to read the bounce. That variable bounce is creating all sorts of problems.
It's also one of the driest pitches that we've played on compared to the 50 overs. This is the most dry surface we've seen so far.
No question about it.
Well, this is chipped up, leading edge, and it falls in a gap. He's really created chances here. Deepinder Singh Ari finishes a good spell. That's going to be the end of the 13th over. Canada 69 for 5.
The new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger.
Let's go.
Juicy grass-fed beef, topped with Ruffles cheddar and sour cream chips.
Let's go! Let's go!
Try the new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger. Let's go.
Well, that looked pretty delicious, that burger, Vivek.
Oh, I could use one right now.
A&W does make some juicy burgers.
Could definitely use one right now.
Well, you could use a burger, and Canada could use some runs.
They could use some juicy deliveries to take advantage of, that's for sure. Nepal's given them none of that.
They've been a completely different side from what we saw in the 50 overs. The confidence, the control, the sharpness in the field, and the bowling. It's really changed things around for them today. Chance of Nepal. A Nepal fan base.
Definitely not today.
He comes back into the attack, and we're going to go back to some pace. Oh, this might be tight. They needed a direct hit. They do eventually get the runs off the overthrow, but how close was this? You cannot be chancing the arm of Deepinder Singh Ari. He's lightning fast in the field.
Lightning fast, and he's everywhere today. Just can't keep him out of the game. Just finished his spell. You'd think his contributions are done for the day, but no. He's right there, almost with a run out. He's had a few opportunities now.
Well, that would have been a very tight one, I think.
Yeah, no question about it. And here we get the replay.
Not sure where he was trying to go. Testing the arm of that man is always going to be dangerous. He would have been gone by a long shot.
Yeah, you can see Mova just gave up there. Not even trying to get his bat and he was too far out. If that would have hit, he would have been gone.
Deep mid-wicket just being asked to come around a little. There's also a deep square leg in place. It's been singles. Singles have been the name of the game after those. Just not able to get it. They've put themselves in a tough position.
And you look at the partnerships, just haven't been able to build a partnership. The biggest one was 21 between Navneet Aliwal and Dilpreet Bajwa. So it's really hard to put up a score when you can't get two batters who are settled.
Well, coming down the track, and this is flicked into the leg side. He'll pick up a boundary here, Shreyas Mova, and there'll be some comfort for Canada knowing that he's still out there.
No question about it. Shreyas Mova, obviously, we know he's so incredibly capable. Played some vital knocks at the T20 World Cup. Had some big knocks as well in Canada's tour of the Netherlands. Didn't quite here, but a shot like that will do him a world of good.
He did well to use his feet there coming down the track. Also allowed some room. He went down the leg stump line, allowing his hands to free.
And I think
what
that's
over
something
do you think they're going to start attacking here? And
I think these two want to stay at the crease until the 16th over at a minimum, but you've still got to take chances.
Well, that's some trickery out there from Shreyas Mova. He does well to pick up 2 runs, just playing in the mind of the bowler, giving him an indication that he might be going for the switch hit.
And he's an intelligent cricketer. He knows how to manipulate the field, and he's got such a wide array of strokes. And I think that's such a big advantage in this format where you can go to different options on different deliveries. And there we get a look at the No Frills tent.
Well, a lot of freebies on offer today. The towels from No Frills and free drinks from Coca-Cola. Again, trying to come down the track. Nowhere close to that ball. You can see the intention. He's trying to give himself some room. And you feel that he's going to be the key for Canada to get into a decent total.
And he'll know that as well. Saad bin Zafar, he's a more than capable batter, and you look at the situation and you'll think, okay, get a couple more overs here, get over that 90 mark, and then you can really start to try and pull away in the final 4 overs.
Trying the same sort of shot again. I think he's just trying to give himself a little bit too much room here. He's trying to manipulate a bit too much. It's going to be the end of the 14th, 77 for 5.
Seba is giving back to the community and making sure that the community is taken care of. We do a lot of that at our temples and in the Punjabi community, and that's how I see the store. So. It's the No Frills thing to do.
$77 for 5, 14 overs gone. You'd expect about 140 to be a decent total on the cards, because there is some batting in this Nepal side. But what a contest this is turning out to be, especially for Nepal, who've completely turned things around for themselves after what's been a very tough time in the ODIs.
They can't have any complaints about this situation right now. 77 for 5, 14 overs. They're in complete control. They've got 2 overs to go here from Sandeep Lamichhane. We'll see how this one goes.
We start with a wide. Picked up the important wicket of Nicholas Curtin, Sandeep Lamichhane. He's been a bit expensive today.
He
but
has.
in T20, it's still not bad.
A few loose deliveries here and there, but you know, you expect that with a wrist spinner taking on that bit of risk.
Just a little too straight from Sandeep Lamichhane, and they pick up 2 runs here. Needs to try and keep it outside that off-stump line.
That's well run. The call came early. They knew they wanted 2 there. They knew they had 2 there. And these 2 run well between the wickets. They understand each other well. They've had some important partnerships together.
Well, clearing that front foot, and it's just not enough to pierce the gap. It's going to be Karan Casey in the deep. You can see the intent. It's there. It's just very difficult to find those boundaries at the moment.
But this is the kind of start to the over that you want. You've got 5 off the first couple of deliveries, 4 to go.
Oh, you feel a little unlucky to have missed out on that. Saad Zafar, down leg stump, just needed to get a little bit of bat.
Missed out there, no question about it. Could have been another couple, if not a boundary.
Well, this is straight down the ground. Does it have enough to beat the fielder? No. Karan Casey's quick, and it's just going to be a single. But this is turning out to be a decent over for Canada. A few more runs than we've seen in the past 5 or 6 overs.
It's been a while since they've had a big over, that's for sure. But Karan Casey doing well there to cut it off, keep it down to a single. You don't want to let those 2s build. You know, that can shift the momentum a little bit. Obviously, Canada is up against it right now, and a long way to get back to a competitive total.
Well, he's bowled him. He has cleaned up Shreyas Mova here, Sandeep Lamichhane, and this is a big moment. The last known batter of this Canadian side falls in Shreyas Mova.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one for Canada to lose, especially at this moment. We were talking about, you know, can these 2 make it to the 16th over and then start to accelerate? But now you lose this wicket as the replay comes in.
What's the googly?
Again,
he didn't read it.
Just too close to the body for that shot. And as you said, did not read the googly.
He's gone for 22 off 23, Shreyas Mova. And Canada in some trouble.
83 for 6, 14.5 overs now. And we were talking about, you know, that risk-reward ratio with your wrist spinners, and Lamichhane's now got 2 wickets for 22 here with 1 ball to go in his 3rd over, and that's a return you'll take from your wrist spinner any day.
And that's just the effect that Sandeep Lamichhane has. I mean, he is he's an experienced campaigner in T20 cricket. He's an experienced campaigner in cricket in general, played a lot of franchise cricket around the world. He's really known for one of the best leg spinners around, especially in the associate world.
No question about it.
And now we're well into the tail for Canada. Akhil Kumar walks out to the middle, and he has 1 delivery to face from Sandeep Lamichhane.
A slip coming in place, trying to put even more pressure on.
It's going to be a dot to end the 15th over. 83 for 6, Canada.
All new Nissan Kicks. Ready for whatever you're into. Get your kicks.
Five overs remain. And Canada, well, they have been put to the sword, haven't they, by an excellent bowling performance from Nepal, who look reinvigorated by the addition of their 3-dimensional talismanic cricketer, Dipendra Singh Airi. He has been everywhere. He's been electric. They call him the Tiger in Nepal, the original 3-dimensional cricketer. He bats, he bowls, he fields, he does it all at 1,000,000 miles an hour. And right now, Nepal absolutely have the hosts on the rack here. And they're going to need something special in the final 5 overs from these two. As Rijan Dakal returns to the attack. I'm delighted to have Matt Bonner joining me. Matt, such a pleasure to meet you firstly today. And secondly, so great to have you engaged and involved in cricket.
I appreciate it. And meeting a broadcasting legend such as yourself in a different realm. I've been doing basketball, now with cricket, so excited for the experience and to watch cricket at this level. I've never seen it live.
Matt, you've clearly not done your research if you're calling me a broadcasting legend. You've been misinformed.
I'm trying to be generous here. Just go with it, Lenny. Just take it.
I'll take it with you. But no, genuinely, it is so great to have you here and have the perspective of an elite athlete with us. As this one beats the outside edge. You've been really taken, haven't you, by the athleticism, the energy, and the speed of Nepal in the field. How good have they been?
I have. I mean, they're on it with their positioning, hustling down balls, the accuracy with the throws. I mean, we've seen them almost get the runner out multiple times, inches away from picking up the wicket. You know, it's in basketball, we have a phrase, defense wins. Like, yeah, you work on your offense. It's great. You knock down a bunch of threes, but you win championships with defense, and I'm seeing that with cricket today.
Yeah, I think it's a good analogy, actually.
Electric. They call him the Tiger in Nepal, the original. Defense wins. Like, yeah, you work on your offense. It's great. You knock down.
Bucks. We will in a minute. Okay, we're gonna give everyone a look at Big Matt Bonner, who's next to me. I thought I was reasonably tall, particularly when I go to Nepal. You know, I cover a lot of cricket there. Average height in Nepal wouldn't be much, so I can't wait for you to see Dipender Singh Arya after the game. He could be in the mix for the player of the match.
Yeah, I made the comment in my first rotation how much bigger Team Canada was to Nepal, but that's not, height isn't everything in cricket.
This is excellent from Rijan Dakal. So yeah, welcome along here to the commentary box. Score 84 for 6. This is Matt Bonner. We're going to ask you, Matt, we're going to maybe zoom out if you can. Can you stand up? Because you're
I might have to take. No, I can.
There we go. Look at that. So this is the big man next to me. I'm over 6 foot, just for the record, before people question my height. Look at this man. What are you?
6'9".
Are you sure?
When I stand up straight.
6'9".
I mean, I'm getting older. Maybe I've shrunk a little bit.
How many seasons did you play in the NBA?
I played 12 seasons in the NBA. 2 for the Toronto Raptors, and then 10 for the San Antonio Spurs. We won 2 NBA championships there.
Toronto obviously holds an awful lot of very close place in your heart then?
Yes, absolutely. I met my former wife there. We have 3 kids together and have been living here for the last year. So this is home, and I'll be covering the Toronto Raptors on TV and radio for Sportsnet this season as well.
And that's one of the main broadcasters here, isn't it?
Yes, that's correct.
In the GTA.
Yeah, actually, it's a Canadian-wide.
Right the way across.
Media company. Yep.
So we saw during that T20 World Cup where obviously USA were one of the standout associate sides, the kind of lesser-ranked sides at that, getting all the way to the Super 8. But Canada were excellent, beating Ireland for the first time, my home nation. We saw an awful lot.
Take that!
We saw an awful lot of new fans attracted to the game. This is your very first time seeing a full international up close and in person.
Yeah, I've spent time at the Toronto Cricket Club where they play like the all-day matches. And granted, it's more men's league than this level. But for me, it was just too long. I'm going to be honest with you.
Dakal is bowling brilliantly here, beats the outside edge again.
Nice throw. Nice ball.
We're getting there,
Matt. Coaching me here. But with this new T20 format, I'm all in. I love it.
That gets us to the end of the 16th. It is 85 for 6.
The new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger.
Let's go.
Juicy grass-fed beef topped with Ruffles cheddar and sour cream chips.
Let's go! Let's go!
Try the new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger. Let's go.
So 4 overs left, and Canada, well, they're definitely under par. The question is, how much of a total can they scrap up to? Sab Bin Safar is certainly capable with his all-round skills, so too Akil Kumar, but Lamachani is a difficult bowler to get away. This one's helped around the corner. That's going to definitely aid the cause, and it will run away to the rope. 4 to the total. That's nice innovation from Sad bin Safar.
Yeah, that was a funky looking pitch too, kind of hitting the ground at the last possible second. But yeah, like what I was saying, that T20, this T20 format is great.
It definitely it brings the energy, doesn't it?
Everybody's collectively roll your eyes as we watch this replay with what I'm about to say. Look at this. Last second, bam, there you go, 4. But everybody who's not from North America, roll your eyes for what I'm about to say. But North American sports fans, we can't sit there for 8 hours and watch a sport. It's too long. This is great.
Yeah, this one's guided away behind square on the offside. I reckon some of the golf fans will argue with you. They love their major championships.
Yeah, but you're like taking a nap in between. I watch golf on the couch. It's great, but I'm sleeping for half of it. You know.
So what's the kind of the 4 major North American sports? You got your NBA, which obviously you played exceptionally well in the NFL. Your MLB, where they've done a great job at actually bringing that pitch clock in.
That's right. They were actually losing fans because it was so long and slow. And they've shortened the games.
NHL is obviously quite big up here in Canada.
Yeah, correct. NHL is kind of probably the 4th out of the 4 major sports. But, you know, you got MLS, soccer is on the rise. And from what I hear, they're starting a professional cricket league in North America, which is pretty exciting.
Down in the USA, as this one is helped away into the leg side and straight to the man. It's Kushal Malla, who holds on with a big smile on his face. It's another one for Sandeep Lamachani. He keeps doing what he was born to do for Nepal, and that is taking wickets. And he is absolutely idolised by those Nepal fans. The 7th wicket falls.
Yeah, perfect positioning. Hardly had to take a step. Well hit ball. That happens in baseball where you like hit a nice crisp line drive, but it goes right at a fielder. What are you going to do?
So Sad bin Safar is the latest to fall. He is gone for 23. We'll just get one more look at the replay. The difference prior to the other sweep shot is that he got it behind square before along the ground. This time he got it 2 square, straight to the man. Kushal Malla, well, he's never going to drop that. And the score, 92 for 7. Parveen Kumar to the crease. Definitely handy to have coming in at number 9, but Lamachani, well, 3 wickets today and very much proving a little bit too hot to handle. I actually think Dipender Singh Airi has been the pick of the bowlers, the way in which he has restricted the runs, and that's something that kind of you'll always keep an eye on as a cricket fan. Your bowlers, you're not just trying to take wickets, which Lamachani is doing wonderfully well. You're trying to restrict those runs as best as you can. He's going at more than 7 runs per over. He's been one of the more expensive bowlers, but Rohit Paudel, the captain of Nepal, won't mind that because he's got those 3 wickets from his star leg spinner, who's such a threat. So one of the things that he does, he doesn't just turn the ball when the left-handed batter into them, like you'll see here, but he'll also bowl googlies that come out of the back of the hand and then they turn the other way. So there's that little variety that the wrist spinners provide. It's incredibly skillful and a very difficult thing to do.
Yeah, absolutely. In baseball, we call that a screwball, where it curves the opposite way and very difficult to execute. Not a lot of people throw that, so totally much respect.
That is the googly, I think, just angling back in. So it's going to end Sandeep Lamachani's figures. He will bowl his 4 overs with the excellent returns of 3 for 29, and it gets us to the end of the 17th over. The score, it has moved on now to 93 for 7.
Seva is giving back to the community and making sure that the community is taken care of. We do a lot of that at our temples and in the Punjabi community, and that's how I see the store. So it's a no-frills thing to do.
So 3 overs left. Nepal winning the toss, choosing to have a bowl first. The ground staff, the curation team here, they felt it was the best pitch of the 7 games thus far on this Oman and Nepal tour of Canada. It's not really proving to be that. Now what's this come off? Maybe just flicked the hip. Nepal are appealing to the umpire. wanting to remember it, bat or glove. That could have been
यसको पाउजिन टेक्नोलोजी लाग्छ बाथरुमबाट पुरै 30 दिनसम्म रुमले बोल्न सक्ने भए गोदरेज एयरले माथे
though. I love the cricket tradition of just screaming at the umpire when you think you deserve a call. Let's take a look.
Oh, now it's come off something, but it might have come off the top of the hip, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you can't ask the human eye without slow motion replay. I don't know, that's close.
I think it's the hip. Yeah, so that is a good decision. Not out as
There
Kumar
we go.
goes leg side, and not a great piece of fielding from Karen KC, but he's got support behind him, so will be a couple of runs to the total. But that energetic enthusiasm and kind of shouting you hear,
does it work?
It's called an appeal.
Yeah.
So you're absolutely entitled to ask the umpire, is it out or not? And then I suppose the reason there's often such euphoric and emphatic appeals is to try and put a little bit of pressure on the umpire
I thought
to
this
give
was
it
a
out.
civil sport, Lenny. They're gentlemen.
Those
Except when they want to call.
Those traditional stereotypes of cricket, they're not.
Umps can't call technical fouls like in basketball.
This is hammered down the ground. Good strike. It's going to go all the way. Smashes into the advertising hoardings. That's the perfect place to hit here at this ground. It's the shortest part of the venue, 57 metres. And it is a good stroke for 6, his first maximum. It's Parveen Kumar.
Solid contact right there. Left no chance. No question that was going out of the park. Take a look. There we go. Much needed 6 for Team Canada. But yeah, in basketball, like if you wanted a call and you just ran up to the ref and just started screaming in his face, they'd kick you out of the game, I feel like. And that's not even a civil sport. As much as they try to make it.
This one's cut away. Good diving stop. Excellent work by Kushal Malla. It comes off that tough area of what's a clay surface they play a lot of the club games on here. Yeah, there are boundaries and there's a code of conduct within cricket whereby if you go past the line, the umpires are the adjudicators of that as to whether or not, and then obviously the match referee who oversees everything, if there's intimidation of the umpire, that's against the laws. There's also a law in there in terms of excessive appealing. So if the umpire feels that you're appealing without due cause too often, you might get a warning, and then you'll be told, well, actually, no, you'll get a code of conduct. You'll be written up, some of your match fee deducted, and you go into the naughty book with the ICC, and there's actually a register kept with demerit points and all sorts of things. So there is still that spirit of cricket very much that oversees the game, but there is also some laws and some lines that you can't go by. This is tickled into the leg side. Think of a second and turn it down. For Canada, coming off that World Cup and then off a brilliant ODI series here on home soil, they are outnumbered in the crowd, there's no doubt, but it's great to see some Canadian natives come in and support the national team too. Absolutely. We were talking in the first leg as well. Manali saying cricket's the fastest growing sport in Canada, usurping my sport, basketball. We mentioned Vince Carter, Toronto Raptors and basketball legend, getting his number retired by the Raptors. They announced it yesterday. That's like the greatest honor, isn't it? But he was like instrumental to bringing excitement with the sport of basketball in Canada. So we were just saying, like, who's the Vince Carter of Canadian cricket? Now, another good cutter. Going to be a run-out opportunity. And that cannot be out because he's missed the stumps with the throw. It'll get us to the end of the 18th over. And the score moves to 104 for 7.
TD is supporting cricket in more ways than ever. Because we believe Canada needs more cricket. How's that? TD, ready for you.
Well, the DJ is getting everyone in the mood. It's time to jump around here in King City. Irish hip-hop music. That's what it's all about. It's going to be up your alley. You were telling me before the start of play when I first met you, Matt. Obviously, Bonner is a very Donegal name from the northwest of Ireland. Irish ancestry. Growing up in New England with, mulligan stew, corned beef, soda bread. Pint of Guinness? Celtic Storm coming. Pint of Guinness? Whenever Celtic Storm came through town, my aunt Sharon was going for sure. What's the great song that was featured in The Departed? It's Dropkick Murphys, is it? Yeah, Dropkick Murphys, shipping up to Boston. That's a classic. Here's Karen Casey for his fourth and final over. He's been really good today. Canada just haven't quite read the pace of the pitch. One of the things, I know we're elated to have you with us, Matt, but also we're trying to educate you as you go in learning your cricket. One of the key differences to cricket to baseball, obviously, is the ball bounces. And then you've got the unique circumstances in our sport where the grass pitches that we play on, they're in essence, they're cut and they're trimmed and they're rolled and they're flattened out to provide as flat a surface as possible. They vary hugely from which part of the world that you go around. So a pitch in India is going to be very different to one here in Canada. As this one swung away into the leg side, and that's all the way. That's a maximum, 6 more to the total.
And much needed. Team Canada once again putting 6 on the board here. Take a look at the replay. Great job. It looked like he shifted the angle kind of at the last second, tried to throw the fielders off, but it didn't matter because it left the park.
And the reason this is such a good shot, Matt, that's the bigger boundary. So that's 65 metres out that direction, and it's cleared it with real ease. Probably gone about 10 or 12 metres over it. Handy late runs these coming from Parveen Kumar. But that playing surface has such an impact then on the expected score, the way in which the bowlers and the captains will approach their bowling innings.
Yeah, I'm sure it changes during the match as well.
Yeah, a little bit during the match, but often it's a case of before the game reading the pitch and saying, okay, what do we want to do? And the trend has been very heavy here in the 6 ODIs that we've seen at King City. This is now the first T20I, whereby every captain, with one exception where Rohit Paudel bizarrely chose to bat first, they always want to bowl first. The reason why earlier in the day, still a little bit damper, there's a little bit more assistance for those bowlers, particularly the seamers like Karen KC, who bowled so economically in that first 3-over spell. He bowled all 3 in the power play, and then as a consequence in the second innings, Nepal are going to know what they need to chase, and they should. Well, as of right now, I'm making them heavy favourites. Canada in real trouble whatever happens off these final 9 deliveries.
Yeah, look, as an American who grew up playing baseball, loving baseball, this is way more exciting. I hate to say it, but it is. It's not even close. Every ball matters. That's what's exciting. Like, every ball counts towards your total, and you got to try to do something with it, especially in this format. To me, that's the definition of action-packed. Baseball, like, you got one batter up there for 15 pitches, and the first 15 don't matter, and then he either gets out or he doesn't. Like, here, every ball counts.
Oh, now this is maybe come off the helmet. We're going to need another look at this. He's going to try and run back for 2. Karen Casey does the fielding himself. The dive comes in. He gets home safely. Maybe just off a little bit of bats. In fact, given as runs. I think you're spot on, Matt. I was at the Blue Jays game last night, and I'm not trying to diminish baseball at all. I really enjoy baseball. I spent a couple of years living in Chicago, right next to Wrigley Field. I think we will have a change of gloves here, and maybe a change of helmet as well. Just looks a bit shaken up by that blow, but it's just different, isn't it? It's not better nor worse, but one of the things I agree with you, your description of every ball counting. In a T20, both sides are guaranteed to bat for 120 balls unless they're bowled all out, which doesn't happen too often, and you've got to try and make as many runs as you can. And then your other description of defence being such a kind of almost a form of offence, what Nepal have done so well is they haven't allowed Canada to score freely. That's why they're on top right now. We felt a par score on this surface, being a good batting surface, going to be 160, maybe 170. They're well short of that.
Way short. I mean, they're going to have to put in a performance on defence.
They really are when they bowl. 19 bowled. It's another good over from Karen KC, despite the 1 maximum. 1-1-2 for 7.
The all-new Nissan Kicks. Ready for whatever you're into. Get your kicks.
So there's the state of play. Problem for Canada has been, as you'll see, very clearly indicated by those scores, there's been 4 batters, now 5 with Parveen Kumar, get to double figures, but nobody has made more than 23. Generally, any good T20I innings will contain at least one score of 50 plus, and that's why Canada are well short of par.
Yeah, I mean, and the efficiency. You look at how many runs they've scored against the pitches. No one's really caught fire, it seems like. Talk about making every ball count. And I apologize. I said pitch. I meant bowl.
We're going to get that lingo baked into your head, Matt, over the coming days. As Akhil Kumar's on strike. Sampal Kami's going to bowl the final over. He's favoured this strange angle. This is not something you see very often for right-handed bowlers. They can bowl either side of the umpire, but he's coming around the wicket. And I think he's trying to angle the ball across the right-hander. And sometimes bowling into his body. Now a run-out chance. Direct hit. Would have been gone. Oh dear. Sampal Kami, you might have been able to out-sprint him. He had 3 stumps to aim at. He should have hit.
Yeah, I mean, they thought they were running. Surprise, we're not running. Lucky that wasn't an out right there. Or a wicket, excuse me.
Yeah, would have been out. Would have been run out, and he would have been caught a long way short. Akhil Kumar just didn't listen to the call, did he, of Parveen Kumar? Miscommunication. 5 balls left now. This goes a long, long way up, and it goes all the way. Oh, that's a great strike. Akhil Kumar getting into the act. He'd only scored 3 off 9 prior to that one. Canada need maximums and plenty more of them.
Yeah, that was a moonshot right there. Almost hit the clouds. You're coming down to the last few balls here. You got to be ultra aggressive. Try to squeeze as many runs as possible. You mentioned coming up well short of par, what we thought they needed to win this match. So just trying to do damage control at this point, and that's a good step in the right direction towards that right there. There you go. Gets right under that, scoops it way up in the air, but has the distance.
The problem with this round the wicket angle is that if you do bowl into that hitting arc, it's there to be hit away. Back live with you now. Looks for some innovation. Oh, brilliant.
Nice.
Outstanding batting. It's a 360-degree sport. You can score anywhere around this oval, and he gets it right over his shoulder, and it runs away for 4.
Yeah, great execution on the bat right there. Look at that. I mean, just to angle it last second. I love how they do it at the last second, too. Stays in the stance, doesn't telegraph until the last possible second. You don't want to tip off those people out in the field where you're trying to hit it, right?
Absolutely. You don't want to give away to the bowler exactly what you're trying to do. And also, you've got to be pretty brave to play that shot. This is a ball coming down at you at 85 miles an hour and around that from Sampal Kami's pace. You need a pretty good dentist if you're going to play that shot. You've got to be willing to occasionally wear one. Now the man, you can just see him in the top right of your screen. That's Anil Sat. He's come much finer. I'm not sure about this round the wicket angle. I think Sampal Kami would be better coming over the wicket and hitting the wide block hole. Most lower order batters like Kumar, you can see with his grip, his setup, he's a right hand dominant batter. He's going to try and hit to the leg side. And I think this is a bizarre field now. It really is, because every single fielder, bar long on, has come up on the leg side. That means everyone on the offside is out in the deep backward point, deep cover, deep extra cover, and also mid-off. So right now, the only thing that Kami can do is try and bowl it wide outside the off stump. It's going to be very telegraphed. Exactly where he bowls it, but it's a big swing and a miss.
I mean, this has to come down to analytics, right? They must have data on this batter and with this bowler throwing from that angle. All right, with these variables and statistics, we know 2/3 of the time it's going to go over there. Why else would you make such a huge shift in the field, right? We'll find out right here what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's flayed away into the offside. That's where he's got all the protection. So Kami will think that's a good result because it's only a single. And with just 1 ball left, they've got past a run of ball. So 120 balls they've faced. They're past that 120 marker. I'm still not sure it's going to be enough, Matt.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, if Nepal hits anything like they've fielded, I would say you're right.
You've got some powerful hitters you got to remember too. Kushal Malla back into the team. Kushal Bertel, will see him open the batting. He goes at it in that initial power play. Asif Sheikh, he'll probably open up with Kushal Bertel, and then of course you probably have already picked up, I've got a bit of a favour in for Dipendra Singh Airi. He's something else. He's one of only 5 players in international history to hit 6 sixes from an over as well. Final ball, and he's bowled him straight through. Bowled him. Sampal Kami has another wicket to his name. He's got 3 for And Canada's innings, well, it ends a little tamely. It never really got going, did it? And they're going to have to be satisfied and content with an under par total of just 123 for 8.
Yep, here you go right there. Nice bowl. I mean, just a masterful performance across the board by Nepal. Really stymieing the Canadian offensive attack. But we got another half of cricket to play, Lenny. So we'll see if Canada can pull a rabbit out of their hat here.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not over till it's over.
It's never over. That's the great thing about T20 cricket, and all it takes is one big over. Parveen Kumar is the final man to fall. So let's get a look at the batting cards as the DJ's ringing out the tunes, not altogether too far from us. Akil Kumar, the man left not out at the end with 14. Altogether, 6 batters got to double figures and nobody got past Sad Bin Safar's 23. I think for me today, Matt, they really missed the services of Dylan Hayligger, who was outstanding in the ODIs.
Yeah, I mean, you need your full roster when you're playing against a team that's objectively better than you. You know, you really need to rise to the level. And that's the cool thing about team sports. Like, and it's one game, one match. The best team doesn't always win. We have the NCAA tournament here with college basketball, and it's single elimination.
That's the March Madness, isn't it?
Yeah, March Madness. So, like, you get it hot on any given night, you can beat any team. And that's what makes it so fun. And, you know, T20 with the excitement and the action-packedness, and this is one match. Yeah, Nepal might be a better team on paper, but if you're Canada, that doesn't mean you can't beat them.
Well, they haven't really looked like a better team on this tour. Remember, Canada beaten Nepal twice. Let's get a look at the bowling figures. 3 wicket hauls for Sandeep Lamichhane and Sampal Kambi, and a wicket apiece on his T20I debut for Rijan Dakal and also for Dipender Singh Ari. Back into the team. Don't rule out Karen KC's bowling figures. He doesn't have a wicket to his name, but look at his economy rate, just 5. And Dipender Singh Ari, to go at an economy rate of less than 3 in a T20I, well, that is quite simply exceptional. We'll have a look at the match summary here as well. That's the total right now, 123. Canada, Matt, they're going to have to bowl and field their hearts out. I'm not sure they can field better than the way in which we saw Nepal field.
Yeah, and you mentioned Canada beating Nepal. Lenny, were those matches on Canadian soil on this trip?
Yeah, so there were the ODIs.
So I wonder,
the 50 over version rather than the 20 over.
I mean, put yourself in the shoes of the athletes on Nepal. You're traveling halfway across the world. I can't even imagine how many time zones away. You know, I wonder if some of those earlier matches
field their hearts out. I'm not sure they can field better.
Definitely a little bit of acclimatization.
Nepal field.
Okay, good news is we're going to get some immediate feedback. We've got Manali Patel, who's with Sandeep Lamichhane.
Playing really well, but I guess credit goes to all the bowlers. You know, the way we started in the power play, that gave us all the momentum to, you know, to all the spinners to bowl really well there.
When speaking of bowlers and the condition, how important was the toss today?
It was really important because the first game and new wicket, so we didn't know like how the wicket going to behave. So it's all, you know, the toss was really restricted them under, you know, so yeah, we definitely look forward to chase it down.
Well, 124 to win. What's going to be the strategy with the bat?
Yeah, I guess, you know, it's all about enjoying the game, you know, we know the process, and we've been playing for a while, so, you know, the cricket, you know, Canadian team, they also have a good bunch of guys, but I guess we will chase this down.
And lastly, it's never a Nepal game without fans. Anything to say to them today?
Yeah, absolutely amazing. You know, there was a lot of buzz going around, and then when I was around the boundary line, I was like, it's really nice to see, you know, whenever we have a game here or anywhere in the world, they just come down and then support us truly, and forever indebted to them.
Well, thank you so much, and good luck in the chase.
Thank you.
That's Sandeep Lamichhane for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks to Manali Patel, who's there with Sandeep Lamichhane, who bowled beautifully for his 3 wickets. Really nice selection of leg breaks and of googlies. We'll leave you with our match summary, but don't go anywhere too far. You're going to hear a little bit more about Matt Bonner's journey, not just in the NBA, but also his discovery of cricket in the mid-innings break, and then we'll have all the action as Nepal will need 124 to win.
The all-new Nissan Kicks. Ready for whatever you're into. Get your kicks.
Seva is giving back to the community and making sure that the community is taken care of. We do a lot of that at our temples and in the Punjabi community, and that's how I see the store. So it's a no-frills thing to do.
TD is supporting cricket in more ways than ever. Because we believe Canada needs more cricket. TD, ready for you.
The new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger.
Let's go.
Juicy grass-fed beef, topped with Ruffles cheddar and sour cream chips.
Let's go! Let's go!
Try the new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger. Let's go.
As a business owner, you have a responsibility to give back to your community.
We hire local and we serve local.
Breakfast program, school program for kids.
Seniors bus program, providing transportation to and from the store.
The all-new Nissan Kicks. Ready for whatever you're into.
अर्को इज्जत कहाँबाट आउँछ बाथरुमबाट
So welcome back to King City. We are going to see Nepal try and chase down this total. That is their lineup. We're not sure of the batting order, but I suspect Kushal Bertel will open things up alongside Asif Sheikh. Picked up the one wicket, but we'd like to welcome you along now to the commentary box. Andrew Leonard here alongside Matt Bonner. Matt's not just watching his first international cricket game, but also commentating on your first international. How did you enjoy the first innings?
I loved it. I love the format of broadcasting during a cricket game. There's way more space to chat, tell some stories, make up more at-length observations. You know, basketball, I mean, I've broadcast, I don't even know how many basketball games, but it's like bang, 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 bang. Maybe you get 2 free throws. You'll have 20 seconds to squeeze something
It's very
in.
much kind of, you're just describing the action, and it's all about what's happening there and then. How long does a basketball game take? So you've got 4 15-minute quarters, obviously, but it doesn't take an hour because there's so many breaks.
It's 12-minute quarters in the NBA.
12-minute quarters in the NBA. Okay, sorry.
15-minute halftime.
Yep.
That's what I was asking you, how long is this break? And you're like 10 to 20 minutes. It depends. Everything in NBA is like
rigid.
Clocks on. Yeah, it's all timed out perfectly. So, I mean, I don't know, 2.5 hours tops.
Yeah, 2.5 hours. So Andrew Leonard here alongside Matt Bonner. Matt, a former NBA player. You've been retired for how many years now?
I've been moved to Toronto last summer, so this is my second year coming up.
Second year back up from San Antonio.
From San Antonio. I was in San Antonio. I played my last 10 years there for the Spurs. We won 2 championships, 07 and 14. I retired in 2016.
So does that get you the ring?
I do. I didn't bring him. Maybe I'll have to bring him one of these games.
We're going to have to get Matt. You're coming along for a few more of the games as well, aren't you? So it's a big, chunky ring, isn't it?
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm checking the security situation here. You know, don't want someone.
I think you'll be all right.
Grabbing him from me. But yeah, played my last 10 years, retired, and then did their broadcast the last 8. And now this year I'm shifting gears and going to work with the Raptors broadcast, TV and radio.
Well, Matt, it's fantastic to have you here with us. Remarkably, I thought it would be a 20-minute break, but I think Nepal might have been a little bit slow in bowling their overs. We're going to be back with all the action. We're really, really delighted to have you with us. Don't go anywhere too far. We'll come back for the chase, where Nepal are going to need 124 to win.
Well, back to the action here after a very exciting first innings. It's going to be a slight change in the comm box. This is Manali Patel, and I'm joined alongside Vivek Jacob. Welcome back, Vivek.
Thanks for having me. Looking forward to this second innings and seeing what Canada can do to try and defend that 123. Some big blows towards the end to get them up to that mark. It didn't look likely at one stage, but the two Kumars, Akhil Kumar and Parveen Kumar, some much-needed blows to get Canada to 123.
Do you think it's the par score? I feel like they're about 10 or 20 runs short, but we're going to get into the action here.
I do think that when you look at...
It's going to be pace to start things off. And just bear with us as we get the graphics updated. It's Kalim Sana opening with the ball for Canada. No surprise there, as he has been such a consistent performer with the ball.
He's the spearhead. He's such a great leader at the top of that bowling unit. Sets the tone. And some early wickets from him can really get Canada back in the hunt here.
Well, that's an authoritative shot to start first off. It might just run away to the boundary. No, good job. And it looks like it's Akhil Kumar in the deep. But first real sign of aggression early on from Nepal. And this could be worrying signs for Canada.
Yeah, well, nice shot to get away there. Get off the mark. And I think you look at Kalim Sana, you know, order of the day is going to be wickets. You're defending 123. There's obviously been some low bounce that we've seen here today. I do think 130 was probably about par, considering the bounce that we've seen on this wicket. So Canada probably just a bit below that in that regard. But wickets can make that 123 all the more intimidating.
A swing and a miss, just past that outside edge. Intentions very clear from Nepal, though. They're chasing 124 in their 20 overs. And I think Canada may feel the absence of Dylan Haliger here, because the opening partnership with the ball for Canada has been very good when you've got both Kalim Sana and Dylan Haliger starting things off for them.
Yeah, Sana and Haliger during the ODIs, we saw them work magic in the opening overs, and obviously Haliger nursing that ankle injury, so a bit more pressure on Sana to deliver.
Well, that one's kept low. It's the first one that we've seen keep that low. In fact, bouncing halfway between the stumps and the keeper.
And that's why I think this pitch is just going to be tricky. You know, this is not going to be an easy total to chase. We saw the bounce impact Canada's batters as well. You've got to really be watchful on this wicket and watch that bounce. Obviously, with Sana, deliveries like that are just difficult to read.
It's Asif Sheikh and Anil Shah to start things off for the Nepal side.
Nicely guided down to third man there for the single.
It's really been a party here. T20 No Frills Cup. And it's all action this morning. We have fans out in numbers, both from Nepal and Canada. We've got, well, the VIP section looks full as well. Lots of giveaways between the No Frills towels, free drinks from Coca-Cola, and the DJ and the drums. They've both been going quite consistently. Well, he's given himself some room, and it doesn't get more beautiful than that. Going straight down the ground. And elegance written all over that shot. He didn't overhit it. He timed it to absolute perfection.
That's a brilliant statement of intent. When you look at the way Canada approached their first power play. Brilliant shot to finish the over.
Well, 4 runs. It is the first boundary of the over, and it rounds out the first over as well from Kalim Sana. Just the balance, and you could see the connection was quite perfect. 10 for no loss after the first over. Well, a change in the tactics as well. Kushal Bhurtel, who normally opens, has not been given the charge up at the top. It's going to be Asif Sheikh, and Anil Shah. Slightly different tactics from Nepal, but whatever they've done with the ball has worked, and that momentum certainly carrying on to their batting today.
Now you can see Canada looking to change it up, get some spin in there. That's what they've gone for in the absence of Haliger.
Canada bringing in spin early on today. Parveen Kumar coming in from the north end. It's a pace and spin combination first up. Oh, this has gone down the ground again. Mid-on was just a spectator on that occasion. And this time it's Asif Sheikh who joins the attack. The Canadian bowlers under some pressure early on here. 6 runs picked up off of that.
And when you're chasing a small total like this, if you allow the pressure to build, you can get to some antsy moments. But when you take on the bowling like this, nothing like it.
Well, that's another one. He's trying to get it past the boundary. Not quite able to get it there. One bounce to the fielder.
Tremendous intent. You can see the pressure on the Canadians now. They know that if this gets out of hand in the first few overs, there's going to be very, very little to work with for the other spinners that could come into the game later, like a Saad Bin Zafar, like a Harsh Thakur.
Well, almost a run a ball, isn't it, at 123 on the board for Canada. Beaten. Tried to go straight down the ground again.
Just missed out. And again,
kept a little low.
That's the biggest factor here in this match. It's the bounce. Accounting for that variable bounce.
Well, that's gone straight up in the air. And that's going to be the first one for Nepal. Canada get a breakthrough. And it's Anil Shah. Big moment this, knowing that they don't have a lot of runs on the board. Canada get an early breakthrough. Anil Shah gone for 9 off 5. Nepal 17 for 1.
And you wonder if he just got a little too carried away there. Already such a good start for Nepal, especially when you consider the total that they're chasing. And we'll get a look at the replay soon. Just swinging across the line. Flatter, shorter, and just going across the line, but no connection. Gets a thick outside edge that pops up, and Sana gleefully takes the catch.
A back of a length delivery as well, not really in place to play that shot. But it's Parveen Kumar, he gets the first breakthrough. A big moment this for Canada. Defending a small total today. Nepal only need 107 from 109 deliveries. They're not going to be too worried with that wicket, but the thing that's going for them today is A, the long total or the short total, and B, the fact that their batters have come out with such positivity and such intent. It makes a big difference, especially for the fielding side, knowing that you're defending a small total and you're being attacked from ball one. Different sort of mindset you put on the back foot from the get-go.
And we'll see, you know, if there's a shift now, a bit of a shift. You've lost the wicket. Do you continue to play with the same intent, or do you try to manage the situation a bit?
The spinners were so effective for Nepal as well. That's going to be the end of the second over. Nepal 17 for 1.
Seva is giving back to the community and making sure that the community is taken care of. We do a lot of that at our temples and in the Punjabi community, and that's how I see the store. So. It's the no-frills thing to do.
I'm quite a no-fill shopper. Are you a no-fill shopper?
Yes, I am. Got one pretty close to me. So anytime I've got to make a last-minute stop, that's the option.
Kalim Sana back into the attack. Been phenomenal with the ball for Canada. Such a consistent performer. Opening with the ball up at the top. Just gives you confidence as a skipper, doesn't it? Throwing the ball to him, knowing that he's A, going to ask questions, and B, he's probably going to pick up wickets. He moves the ball well.
No question about it. And interesting change in tactics here, coming around the wicket. Obviously wasn't happy with what he was getting from over and coming across the batter.
Extra pace and really puts us back on that one. Good aggression this from Kalim Sana.
And he's such a thoughtful bowler, such an intelligent bowler. Works on such little intricacy during nets, during practices. Got a great head on his shoulders. So mature. And again, a great leader at the top of the bowling for Canada.
Well, that's picked up, but it's high in the air. It's Dilpreet Bajwa, and he might have just taken the catch of the game there. Running backwards, never easy, and my gosh, is that a good catch.
And not too bad for someone just coming off passing a concussion test now.
Well, he's put Netherlands behind him, and he said, you know what, I'm going to show you just how well I can catch, and that's the second wicket for Nepal. It's Asif Sheikh, both openers gone.
That was absolutely brilliant. You look at Sana, short of a length. Ahoy trying to go over mid-on and full stretch on the dive, going backwards. Read that beautifully. Fantastic catch by Dilpreet Bajwa.
And never in control, Asif Sheikh on that shot.
And you've got to say Canada's right back in it. 2 wickets in the power play, that's what you need. Obviously now they'll say, hey, let's go get a third.
Asif Sheikh gone for 8 off 9, and Nepal 2 down. 17 for 2. Canada have brought themselves back in this contest.
And all in just the past 6 balls, and you look at that 17 for no loss, and you see balls going to the boundary, and you feel that pressure. The way they've responded now to take these 2 wickets right back in this contest.
Well, he's buzzing, Dilpreet Bajwa in the field. He should be. What a catch that was. Game-changing moment.
And that type of catch can just lift the whole side. You look at the pressure that's been created with a pretty low total as we take a look at it again, reading it the whole way, moving backwards, and then the full stretch dive, 2 hands. Showcase that to all the kids trying to learn.
Oh, he was Superman. So that's going to be a wide. Definitely Superman there, wasn't he? Flying through the air. Never easy running backwards and taking it over your shoulder.
Super Bajwa. Excellent effort there.
Well, he certainly silenced the Nepal fans with that catch.
They're pretty quiet. They can feel the pressure. And again, you look at this pitch. It's not as easy a pitch as was advertised maybe before the first ball was bowled. And that challenge now of getting to 124 looking a bit more difficult.
Well, up and over and just out of reach. Well, that Ansh Patel in the deep. He's not the tallest of players, but I can tell you the skipper, watching from the non-strikers, he would have had his heart in his mouth. He did not want another wicket.
Short and wide and slapped cut. Ooh, just a bit too inside the boundary. Would have definitely had a better shot at it if he was right on the rope and just going over his head, well over his head, but still 4. And that tells you, maybe you want to be right up on the boundary in that situation. In this situation, with Sana getting some good bounce off the wicket when he's going short.
Left alone, Kalim Sana. He does hit the deck hard as well, doesn't he? I think that was also part of the undoing of Asif Sheikh's shot. It just had a bit extra bounce on it. Got in an awkward height for him to be able to play that.
Couldn't get in front of it.
Big difference.
It'll be interesting to see how big a moment that is. Could have had the third wicket and it would have been a big one with the skipper, Rohit Paudel, to get him back in the pavilion.
Guided, and it's going to be a single to end the over. Nepal 23 for 2 after 3. I think we've got a very exciting contest on our hands here. Bat and ball going head to head. Darted in. Parveen Kumar, he's picked up an early wicket. Got the breakthrough for Canada today. He'll want a couple more just to make sure that his side is in a good position.
And now you really get that cat and mouse game, because you've got to think about the 2 wickets you've lost.
I mean, just so watchful with the spinners, isn't it? There is definitely a little bit out there for the spinners. We saw it when Nepal were out there with the ball. Deepinder Singh Airy bowled exceptionally well. Sandeep Lamichhane picking up 3 wickets today.
And you look at this outfield, it's very difficult to get it to the fence. And so once you get beyond this power play, it's going to get that much more difficult.
I think the positive here for Nepal is they've really come out all guns blazing. They know only 2 fielders out for these first 6 overs. They want to make use of this power play. Of course, missing Dylan Haliger up at the top too. Well, movement.
But you also look at it the other way. They were at 17 in the second over, and they've only managed the 6 runs since. So Canada has really done well to pull things back. Obviously, wickets can do that for you, but they're definitely bowling with their tails up.
But going for the big heave, manages to sweep that into the leg side. It's just going to be a single. But very watchful of the spinners here in Nepal. And I think they know just from the amount of movement or the amount of turn that they got when they were out in the field with the ball.
And it's that bounce, that variable bounce. Those ones that keep low are impossible to get away.
Giving himself some room, and you saw that shot coming from a mile away. From the time that he started to back away, 6 more maximum, and really dents this decent over from Parveen Kumar. 4 overs gone, 30 for 2.
TD is supporting cricket in more ways than ever. Because we believe Canada needs more cricket. Hassan! TD, ready for you.
Well, shot and a half that. Canal facing 2 deliveries. Brought in for the T20s, Dave Canal, and he's really maximized it for himself. Always hurts as a bowler, doesn't it, to go for 6 runs on your last ball when you bowl such a good over leading into it.
And especially from a Canadian perspective, you'd be thinking you are just taking control of the match again, and then you get that release shot. And again, Nepal can feel like, okay, another 2 overs at this rate, and you're well in command.
Let's spin on both ends now. Harsh Tucker coming into the attack, And that's nearly swept into the hands of Aaron Johnson.
Seemed like a bit off balance there as he tried to almost scoop it over. And just one bounce to Aaron Johnson at short fine leg.
Watchfully played. Smart cricket this though from Nepal, picking up the 6 runs off the last delivery and now just looking to rotate the strike, wait on that bad ball. Canada, they've picked up 2 wickets here, but they're going to feel they're going to need a few more. Just defending 93 more from here.
Oh, a third in this power play would be absolutely massive. If Harshtaker can come through, obviously he'll be eager to contribute with the ball, having not done much with the bat on this day.
You were part of the squad, weren't you? You were involved with the Canadian team that traveled to the T20 World Cup. What was it like over there? The atmosphere within the team, the dugout.
It was such an incredible opportunity, and to be with the players throughout and just watch the way they were able to embrace that opportunity, get that first win against a side, a test playing side, was fantastic.
Well, this might be some runs. Doesn't quite find the boundary, but they'll pick up some runs here, Nepal. They're definitely on the offensive here. Healthy crowd today to come and see, to come and watch an exciting T20 game. It's the first one of 6. Well, yes, no, sent back, safe in the end. And it's going to be a dot to end the 5th over. Nepal 32 for 2.
Seva is giving back to the community and making sure that the community is taken care of. We do a lot of that at our temples and in the Punjabi community, and that's how I see the store. So it's the no-frills thing to do.
Well, it's been a battle of wills the first 5 overs. 2 critical breakthroughs for Canada. Have very much kept them alive in this contest, but it is still advantage to Nepal. The target is just 124, so they only need to run a ball, and they're getting a fraction more than that at the moment, as Canada have gone quite spin heavy in the first 5 overs. Andrew Leonard here alongside Matt Bonner again. Matt, you're still kind of adjusting, aren't you? You're learning the pace as you go. Canada are showing fight.
They are. This is what we talked about. Stay tuned for the second half of this match because anything can happen. Canada making some big plays. We saw that diving catch. That would be on, the top 10 plays of the week right there.
Let's get it on there.
Yep.
Get it onto ESPN Sports Center.
Grab that photo frame. That's a poster. Sign it. Send it to the kids.
I quite enjoyed the celebration as well. Dilpreet Badra, and as Manali Patel was saying, the tour that he had in the Netherlands was, like by his own admission, it was as bad a fielding tour as I've seen. I think he dropped 6 catches in the 6 or 7 games he played, as Akhil Kumar comes into the attack, and look out, cameraman, very nearly clocks into our man.
Our camera guy didn't even flinch either. They missed him by a foot.
Yeah, not a great delivery, was it? Angling down the leg side, so all Dev Canal needed to do was get it round the corner. Remember, he's on his T20I debut too. I think many Nepal fans, they see Dev Canal as maybe a long-term solution for some of their batting woes. He's a different kind of makeup, doesn't he? Just in terms of his style and his shape. He's a lot taller than a lot of his teammates, maybe with the exception of Gulshan Jah, and he's a very elegant and languid player. This time he's beaten for pace, though. You watched a little bit of Kalim Sana bowl. I told you to keep your eyes on him. How impressed were you with that?
Yeah, that thing was coming in hot. I would not want to. We saw that one kind of backward shot that Team Canada did. Take a look at the replay here. Like a jump swing. The old jump swing. But the one you were talking about where you jump in front and kind of flick it off the bat behind you.
The ramp shot.
I wouldn't want to be trying that with him throwing the ball.
Not to Kalim Sana. This one beats the outside edge. Lovely length from Akhil Kumar.
So this is his debut.
in this format. So he has played ODI cricket, the 50-over game for Nepal.
So, like, how on it are these national teams with the young talent coming up? And then on the flip side, the guys who are on the team, how worried are they that they're going to be replaced?
The amazing thing about the Nepal team is they're incredibly young. It's really just Karen KC and Sampal Kami that they're up kind of towards the 30 or north of 30. As Canal goes down towards deep. There! It's another stunner! In the same part of the field, Dilpreet Bajwa the first time. This time it's Kaleem Sada. 2 spectacular catches. And Canada, well, they are coming to life in the defence of this low total.
You do not want to hit it to that part of the field, Lenny, because you're just going to get out, dive and catch once again. It's like lightning strikes twice. Spectacular.
Well, this is quite brilliant. The athleticism first shown by Dilpreet Bajwa in a catch where he was running over his shoulder. The only difference here for Kaleem Sana, he had to go to his left. Canal the latest to fall for 11, and the score 32 for 3.
Yeah, when that ball came off, I'm like, oh, there we go. That's 4 or 6, but no, man. And those are the kind of plays you got to make when you didn't score like Canada did. Check out the replay here.
36 for 3 the score. In fact, you'll see the brilliance of Sana here, identifying where he is in relation to the rope and then getting in the acrobatic dive. It is his stronger side. He's a left-handed bowler and fielder, but that is another specky. We've seen 2 already today, and both have belonged to Canada.
Yeah, I mean, and Canada's probably going to need a few more if they want to win this match, but plays like that will keep you in the game. We're talking about how defense wins. That saves some runs right there.
So in comes young Kushal Malla. We were just talking about young, prodigious cricketers. Nepal, of the 20 teams that went to that T20 World Cup back in June in the USA and the Caribbean, they were the youngest squad by a distance. Average age, just a fraction over 23.
Wow.
Quite remarkable. Youngest captain in the tournament as well. That's Rohit Paudel, who's at the non-strikers end. He's actually the youngest captain to ever captain his nation in any World Cup, any senior World Cup, men's or women's. Really impressively young talent.
You know what I'm going to ask after everything you just said? Why? Why are they so young?
Well, there's just a hunger, isn't there, from a very young and very energetic side. The love for cricket in Nepal, it would stagger you, Matt. It's quite incredible. It's inbuilt into the culture and the national consciousness. As Kumar beats the outside edge, it is by a distance the most popular sport in the country, and I have to say their love for the game, absolutely inspiring. I think the youth thing is just a byproduct really of, I guess, of the culture of the country as well. I think a lot of players, as they get to sort of 25, 30, if they haven't quite made it, they will emigrate. They'll often head down to Australia or to come to America or to Canada if they can get some opportunities, whether that's to play some club cricket. So as a consequence, they really back their own youth, their home-produced youth. Gets us to the end of the power play, and maybe, just maybe, Canada edging ahead in the game. It's 36 for 3.
The all-new Nissan Kicks. Ready for whatever you're into. Get your kicks.
So the end of the power play. It's probably, if anything, a 50-50 game right now. Nepal have had some batting woes, particularly in the 50-over format. They're looking to turn those around here in the T20s. Did everything right for the first 20 overs, but Canada have come roaring back at them. You can almost feel the tension here now, Matt Bonner, can't you?
Yeah, I mean, those 2 diving catches really swung the momentum and the energy, it felt like. You know, the whole time Nepal was in the field, their cheering section were chanting, up, clapping. We're not hearing much from them right now.
Remember, it could have been even worse for Nepal. I thought that was a catching opportunity down at a deep third man where Rohit Paudel loves playing that uppercut shot. He was actually dismissed to that exact same stroke to Kaleem Sana in the ODIs, the first ODI between these 2 countries. I think, not sure who the fielder was down at deep third. Anj Patel, he didn't get a great line on the ball, did he? Ended up kind of wrong-footing himself.
Yep, exactly. You know, you got to get that initial break when the ball hits the bat. You know, they're coming in so hot. That split second is the difference between making the play and not, for sure, in any sport.
There is going to be a slip in place, so with Thacker bowling his off breaks, he's going to turn the ball away from the left-hander. He's trying to bring that slip into place to get into play, really, to get another wicket, find a fourth.
Wow.
This one just skids on, angles on. Kushal Mal is known as a big hitter, but he's just been a little bit shy of form. Left out of the ODIs, back in now for the T20s. Both him and indeed Dipendra Singh Airi, their innings with the bat, we may see Airi in next, I think at number 6. They're going to be critical, but pressure is very much on Nepal.
Yeah, and you look at this replay, see how close he came to hitting the wicket. Not quite there. The sports psychology, I think, comes into play like this.
Gets us to the end of the 7th, sorry, Matt.
Yeah,
Score
go ahead. We'll
37 for
after.
3.
Seva is giving back to the community and making sure that the community is taken care of. We do a lot of that at our temples and in the Punjabi community, and that's how I see the store. So it's a no-frills thing to do.
So the required run rate, keep your eyes on that. In the bottom left of your screen, Nepal won't want that going up sort of past 7 or 8 and over, because then obviously it's more than one run for every single ball that they're going to require. And now it's going to be a trial by spin. Young Ansh Patel, who is making, I believe, his T20I debut today. He did debut last week in the ODIs. He's still just 22 years of age. You talk about some young Canadian talent coming through, and it is indeed his first T20I. What he'll do here, Matt, is he'll bowl the same as Sandeep Lamachani, but the mirror image. So he's a left arm wrist spinner, which is the rarest style of bowling in all of cricket, and he can turn it both ways as well.
That definitely keeps the batter on his toes, I would assume. You don't know what's coming.
And there's something almost, it's probably a little bit like a sidearm pitcher, you know, some of those unorthodox
like
ones.
Dennis Eckersley.
Yeah, in baseball.
Yep.
It's almost just because you're not used to facing it, it becomes that bit more difficult.
Yeah, I read a really interesting book called The Sports Gene about all these like micro movements you get used to playing a sport over the years.
Now, big appeal. This is full and straight, but not straight enough.
This is a tough ump right here.
Not out.
That's like the 6th major appeal I've seen. He hasn't given a call once. But yeah, these micro movements you intrinsically pick up on, and when they're shifted, whether it's a sidearm pitcher or, like you said, the rare lefty spinner.
Just going to see if we can get a replay of that LBW appeal. So the LBW law, Matt, in essence, the umpire's got to adjudicate whether it's hit the pad or not, or a part of the body, and whether it's going to go on and hit the stumps.
Yep.
So that, to me, looks really close. It's probably going to go on and maybe hit that leg stump, but the umpire feels it's just sliding down as Mala goes downtown. He's an incredible striker of a cricket ball, and he gets off the mark with a maximum.
Much needed, too. Not a lot of momentum batting for Team Nepal, but right there gets him on the board for 6. Again, keeping an eye on that rate you were talking about.
He loves this area of the ground.
Gets
That's
under
exactly
it,
where he
pulls
wants to
it.
hit.
Yep, full extension.
And one of the big things in modern cricket that we didn't see 15, 20, 30 years ago at all, they'll take on the fielders in the deep. So you can see the man was positioned there. This is going to be 4 more. I'm not sure Aaron Johnson is going to catch up with this. Maybe he will. Has to get the dive in. And they're going to try a third. And the throw is relayed onto the stumps by Sherry Asmova. They might think of a 4th here. And off goes Powdell. And they're going to end up getting 4 runs. Rather remarkably, thanks to the deflection off the stumps, the ball is still live then. It's not a boundary 4, but it's an all-run 4, which is incredibly rare.
Wow, yeah. You think when it hit it was a dead ball, but you're right. And heads up running by Nepal.
Good awareness, great match awareness from Nepal. Powdell's incredibly quick between the wickets. He called his young star through, so it's back-to-back. Not boundaries, but 6 and now 4. 10 runs and 2 balls. It's changed the game.
Yeah, and now we're hearing the crowd.
The crowd are coming up. Think about that LBW decision. Think about the small margins. Canada will feel as though they should have got that decision going in their favour. The umpire at the far end That's Rohan Shah. He disagreed, and Mala is making use of his life. He's already to double figures.
नयाँ ऋणको प्राइस लकेटको चाहिँ तपाईको रुपियाँलाई पाइन्छ नयाँ जस्तै छ नयाँ जस्तै छ नयाँ प्राइस लकेटको मजबुत साथ नयाँ जस्तै चमक
TD is supporting cricket in more ways than ever. Because we believe Canada needs more cricket. How's that? TD, ready for you.
So, Nepal are going at exactly a run a ball. They've faced 48 balls across their 8 overs. They've scored 48 runs, so it means the equation now is 76 off 72. You don't want that equation to get too unbalanced if you're a Nepal fan. Let's get one more look at this big 6 down the ground. It was a great strike, wasn't it, from Kushal Malla? And that was the very delivery after he just survived a tight LBW shape. Yeah, I mean, we talk about momentum and how things change. We saw the diving catches from Canada, and they were kind of locking down on defense. Now Nepal starting to get it going. Oh, if you're Harsh Thacker, it's into the slot. That's a juicy strike zone delivery, and Paudel cashes in with a maximum. It sure is, and you got to think, like, if you're Nepal, you know your target in this format. You're being ultra aggressive, and that's what we're seeing right here with this rendition of batters. The margins in cricket, Matt, they are so small. So for that bowler there, if he's 6 inches shorter, that's an okay length. That's actually a good length. The batter's going to find that hard to get underneath. But there's a length that we call the slot, and that one there, Harsh Thacker, could not have bowled that more in the slot. Yep. Paudel identifies that, smashes it down the ground, 60 metre straight boundaries, he gets 6. Yeah, these guys are too good, you're right. You can't make those kind of mistakes at this level. Nicely worked into the leg side. They'll think of a second, but no need to take it on as Sad bin Safar does the fielding. It's been an amazing innings already, this chase. It's really ebbing and flowing, very topsy-turvy. Yeah, very exciting match. And again, I think that's a credit to this format. You know, it breeds excitement. They had a campaign, the ICC, the equivalent of a FIFA or World Rugby, the governing body for cricket. It was the 2014 T20 World Cup out in Bangladesh, and they ran this campaign in the build-up, saying it's one big over. One big over can change the game. Yeah. And that's either way. So if Ansh Patel had maybe got that LBW decision going in his favour, he might have had not just the wicket of Malla, he could have got a second wicket in the over. Instead, Malla turned that over in his favour by picking up the 10 runs for the next 2 balls. And this is just inches short. Wow. I don't think it's carried on first viewing. We'll try and get another look, but Sad bin Safar, he was hovering in there at mid-wicket. Some reflexes right there. Going to be a single to close out the 9th over. 9 have come from it. Sad bin Safar ends up on his backside. It's 58 for 3.
The all-new Nissan Kicks. Ready for whatever you're into. Get your kick.
So the penultimate ball of the last over, Matt. Was this a catching opportunity? Did it carry to Sad bin Safar, the former captain? Oh, yeah, he could have had it. I mean, that's a tough catch. You talk about reflexes. The camera couldn't even keep up with the ball. That's how fast it was coming at him. So I'd give him a pass on that. Yeah. Would have been a nice play. Another highlight defensive play by Team Canada if he had come up with it. I'm not quite sure it carried. I think it's one of those ones that even if he'd kind of got his hands to it, it might have been on the half volley. Really good effort, though. They're the most difficult catches to take. Well, the 2 hardest are the ones coming forward, and then the one that we saw Dilpreet Badger execute running over your shoulder. Now, Malla loves left arm spin. He takes it on. Long on is in place, and he takes the catch. And Sad bin Safar, he strikes from his very first delivery. Just not quite far enough. I mean, man, you talk about multiple momentum swings in this match and in this format. That's another example right there. A few more feet, that's 6 runs. Another nice catch by Team Canada. Keeping themselves in it with defense. Take a look at this replay. Yeah, I think certainly for Kushal Malla, you'll see he's just going to try and go after left arm spin with the ball turning into him. I think it might be the sub fielder. It might be Ravinder Pal Singh who's taken the catch. We'll get that checked. The score, it falls tonight 58 for 4.
Is taken care of. We do a lot of that at our temples and in the Punjabi community, and that's how I see the store. So it's the no-frills thing to do.
The all-new Nissan Kicks. Ready for whatever you're into. Get your kicks.
TD is supporting cricket in more ways than ever. Because we believe Canada needs more cricket. Hassan! TD, ready for you.
So the match officiating team decided to take the drinks break on that first ball of the 10th over. The reason why? Kushal Malla has departed, looking for another big one down the ground. It was the subfielder Ravinder Pal Singh who took the catch. It was well judged just inside the rope, and it has left this game on an absolute knife edge, Matt Bonner.
Yeah, I mean, at this point could go either way. Think about it. We left the match after Nepal put on an absolute display defensively, thinking, man, it's a very slim chance Canada's going to be able to pull this out, but now the way they've been playing on defense, kind of matching that same effort, it's anyone's game.
And one thing to point out there, look at how disciplined the two bowling attacks have been. They've conceded just 3 extras and 1 extra respectively. That's very much south of where your expectations would be. Anything under sort of 5 or 6 in a T20 and it's a great effort. Now here's a big moment. Kushal Bertel, he has represented Nepal 45 times in T20I cricket. Every one of those 45 games he's opened the batting. He's walked out at the start of the innings. He's in a new role now. He's going to come in at number 6. He'll run quickly between the wickets. He'll look to sweep and cut and be good with his footwork. But maybe this is going to be a Kushal Bertel 2.0. This is a very new role for him.
And why do you believe they switched the role up? What was the strategy in that?
I think there is some concerns around the form, not just of Bertel with the bat. He's still got a good career record, but I think generally across the Nepal team. And they've tried to find a way to get Dev Kanal into the team. The youngster, he was the under-19s captain in their brilliant run where they beat Afghanistan to spark such remarkable scenes of celebration down in South Africa. So they think he's one to show faith in, and for Kanal, I don't think he could play this role at 6 or 7. And they want to get Anil Sahn to the team as well. Again, another taller batter. I think some of the shorter batters have struggled with the bounce in these pitches. So it's a different kind of role, but Bertel has started brightly. This is what he'll do. He'll run brilliantly between the wickets. Excellent running, 2 more to the total.
Showing off that experience. How big of an adjustment is it when you grow up playing cricket in certain formats and now all of a sudden they introduce this T20? What type of adjustment is that for these players?
For all the leading associates like we're watching here, the top 12 nations in the world also play Test cricket, so that they've got to play 3 formats. For the best associates, they play 2. They'll play the 50-over cricket, which is a huge amount of context and relevance in terms of your funding, your world rankings, and where you sit within the pyramid of the world game. So both of these 2 sides, like Oman, who we'll see later in the No Frills Cup, they're all ranked in between 13th and 20th in the world in terms of the 50-over game. But then for T20, which is by far the most popular format now, there's over 100 sides in the world rankings in T20I cricket, and 100 teams trying to get towards that 20-team World Cup. This is the one, I suppose, where you show off your flair, your audacity, your innovation. This is going to skid on and miss the leg stump. It'll also get us to the halfway stage of this second innings. Nepal, they're there or thereabouts, but the game continues to hang in the balance. It's 63 for 4.
As a business owner, you have a responsibility to give back to your community.
We hire local and we serve local.
Breakfast program, school program for kids.
Seniors bus program, providing transportation to and from the store.
So 10 overs remain for Nepal. It's the halfway stage of the chase. Maybe just a little bit of concern on the face of some of the subfielders there. Young Arjun Saud amongst them. Missing out today, Arif Sheikh. I'm not sure we'll see him much in the T20s. For Nepal, they've expanded their squad from 15 to 16. They've not flown in anyone additional. So somebody who's a T20I specialist like Avinash Bahara, not here. They're just having to make do with what they have. And Dev Kanal has come into the squad. And he's batted at number 3 as Thacker's going to continue into his 4th. Just had a shuffle here in the commentary box. Vivek Jacob joins me now. Vivek, where is this game at? We thought Nepal were well ahead of it at the halfway stage. Canada fighting hard.
I think it's so evenly poised right now, and I think when you look at the match situation, it's all because we've had this variable bounce and this low bounce that has made it difficult for the batters.
Is there an aspect of Nepal's recent struggles in terms of not being able to get over the line and win games that we're also seeing maybe being exposed, and is that part of this?
I think we might maybe see that become more of a factor as we get deeper into the match. I think they showed good intent at the top. That say they showed winning intent.
They're really aggressive, weren't they, in the first 6?
No question about it. And I think that's where, when you lose those couple of wickets, that hesitancy can come in again, and that seed of doubt of, okay, how do we manage the situation? Do we play for the power play?
He said that Bertel would like to sweep. It's exactly what he does, but he doesn't really get anywhere near that as it comes off the glove and goes over the head of Sherry Ismova for a single. Powdell is so important, isn't he, in the chase? He's probably, across all formats, Nepal's most consistent batter. He's at a really good time of things in periods of 2024. He's exceptional against West Indies, on home soil, and he looks to be just kind of measuring this chase. He's happy to go to run a ball for the moment.
And no question, and they'll be saying if they can just keep wickets in hand, bat through the next 5-6 overs, they'll know that with 6 wickets in hand, 6, 7, 8 runs and over won't be an issue.
So Harsh Thacker has bowled his 4 overs out already inside just 11 of the chase. He'll be pleased with his figures. He's got none for 18. The score is 68 for 4.
The new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger.
Let's go.
Juicy grass-fed beef topped with Ruffles cheddar and sour cream chips.
Let's go! Let's go!
Try the new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger. Let's go.
It's a really interesting call from Nicholas Curtin. He's bowled Thacker out very quickly, and he's probably going to be pretty satisfied with the results, just going for 18 off his 4 overs.
No question.
Sad bin Safar is going to continue. If you're Curtin here, how are you kind of plotting these last 9 overs?
Well, I'm looking at Akhil Kumar for sure. He had the 1 over, took the wicket. Ansh Patel took a bit of stick in his over, so you're maybe keeping him away for now.
Now, not the right line, but Sad bin Safar gets away with it. Ansh Patel, was he a bit unlucky with that LBW shade? It looked very close, didn't it?
It really did. It really did. You could definitely say he's unlucky, but, I think the way that over played out.
Bowls him straight through. We said Bertel would like to sweep, but he's going to fall. Attempting to do so. It was far too full, wasn't it? Sad bin Safar is pumped up. He's so experienced, the former captain. He's got 2 wickets to his name. Canada have 5.
And it's a big one. It's a big one to get Bertel right there. And you look at that shot, it wasn't on at all. You look at the celebrations right now, you can see their tails are up. And you look at Saad just drifting that ball in, and full pitched delivery just wasn't there for the sweep. And we get another look at it. Just nowhere near that. Should have been a drive down the ground, but instead he goes for the sweep and is cleaned up.
Bertel's gone for 7. It's 68 for 5. Dipender Singh Ari in at number 7 holds that remarkable record, doesn't he? Just the 5th international cricketer, 3rd in T20I cricket to hit 6 sixes in an over, That came in the ACC Premier Cup back in April in Muscat in Oman. Joined an amazing list of Yuvraj Singh, Herschel Gibbs, Jaskaran Malhotra, of course, of USA, and Big Kyron Pollard of the West Indies. Only 5 players have ever done it. It's one of the rarest things that we have in our sport, and he gets off the mark immediately. This partnership, all of a sudden, Vivek, becomes critical for Nepal.
No question. And when you look at Paudel, the way he was looking to manage the chase, probably bat all the way to the end, he's got to be even more careful now.
We haven't seen any demons in the pitch. Why are our kind of pre-match predictions, and very much the Croatian team as well, are saying 150 plus, 160, 170, they were saying. I can't quite put my finger on it. Is there anything that you've seen that's restricting the scoring?
Well, I think when I look at a couple of things, the power play, both sides haven't really been able to take advantage. Obviously, Nepal were the more aggressive, showed more intent, but they didn't really get away. You know, they didn't get that 50 plus that you want in the first 6, ideally. And then there's the outfield. If you're not getting it away in the first 6, it's becoming all the more difficult the rest of the way.
Yeah, it's a good point, actually. The outfield's definitely, it's heavy, isn't it? And that's the consequence of quite a lot of rain last week. Good diving stop from Navneet Daliwal, just 2 runs from the over. Nepal getting behind the rate.
His wicket is essentially the game at this point, and if he falls, Canada will be well and truly on top. And on the flip side, with Nepal struggling to figure out getting over the line, Canada, that's all they've been doing in the 4 matches prior to this in the ODIs, and so they'll feel like they can win in any situation.
Nicely bowled. The sweep shots haven't proved too effective for Nepal. That maybe slightly indifferent bounce causing some issues. Yeah, they talk about winning being a habit, but the problem is that losing's a bit of a habit as well. When you get out of that winning habit, it's difficult to find that return to form. Rohit Paudel is going to be so important. You can see there, not getting anywhere near the sweep. There's been a good fielding effort, hasn't there, from Canada as well. That's applying further pressure.
And you saw Nepal, the way they fielded, it set the standard in the first innings, and now Canada have done brilliantly to respond. We saw their 2 great catches, and now even the ground fielding has really been excellent.
You can hear the Nepal fans just trying to get behind their team. These are, well, halcyon days for Canadian cricket, aren't they? It's a sellout crowd. Look at the vibe and the atmosphere up there. This is just so great to see.
It's fantastic. It's beautiful, and you look at this day on a weekend. People could be doing anything with their time. They're here, they're supporting, and they're enjoying the moment. And Canadian team is giving them something to really enjoy.
I think the fans are not just enjoying the moment, they're enjoying the momos as well, because the Nepali food truck is up there. I think they're doing a roaring trade.
No question about that.
You a momo fan?
Yeah, absolutely. Got a few spots downtown that'll get you can go.
Chicken Kote, they're the ones to go for. Really good over from Parveen Kumar. Nepal are getting themselves into trouble. Look at that required run rate. It's continuing to escalate. The score, 72 for 5.
TD is supporting cricket in more ways than ever. Because we believe Canada needs more cricket. How's that? TD, ready for you.
Just going to get a quick look here at the dynamic duo, the partnership graphic. Just 4 off 10. They have to get going. After this, because Nepal haven't picked Gulshan Jha, there's not a huge amount more to come. We know that Sampal Kami and Karen Casey and Sandeep Lamachani can all bat, but it shouldn't really be their job to get those runs that Nepal need.
No, and you can see, you mentioned the run rate escalating. That's going to make it all the more difficult, and you've got a huge over here now coming up from Saad bin Zafar.
This one's hit down the ground, will be a single. Irie has the power. We know he can clear the ropes. He looks just to be assessing things. He's trying to just start to build this partnership with the skipper. Might be a case of, well, maybe not going after Saad bin Zafar, just knocking it around off him. But all of a sudden, this very much is the feel of a game that's going to the 20th and final over in the chase.
No question about it. And if you're Nepal, if there's one positive you're clinging on to right now, if you saw over the course of the ODIs, Canada was able to knock sides down and get them 6 down, 7 down, but then weren't able to close that deal. They were able to get the win, but you had situations where they had the opposition 80 for 7, 100 for 7, and then sides are still getting to 180, 200 plus.
Yeah, now that was both Oman and Nepal, wasn't it? It had kind of lots of good 7th, 8th, 9th wicket partnerships. Problem is, the required run rate is becoming an issue now. It really is. Because of all of these dots from Saad bin Zafar in particular, we're going to have I think we're going to have a check here. Umpire is calling on Vikram Naponi, the Nepal team physio, because I think it's just come up into the helmet. So we have to go through the mandatory concussion check. But you look at what's to come for Nepal in terms of their batting lineup here. I'm sure Irie will pass this. It's just a case of going through the process. It may be Karen Casey next. He's got power down the ground. But how have Nepal got themselves in a position where they nearly need 8 and over now?
Well, again, you look at the start that they had, where they knocked off the 17 in the first over and a half. Since then, Canada has done brilliantly to just pull things back. And obviously, the biggest factor in that is taking wickets. And you put this side under pressure. You mentioned the losing factor of not knowing how to get it over the line of late. And that kicks in, and you play that super safe approach. And sometimes, the safer you go, the more easily it slips away. And you can feel a bit of that happening right now.
Yeah, and I almost hasten to bring it up because I know that millions of Nepal fans will be tuning in. But, well, there's a few demons in the head there, isn't there, from St. Vincent too, at that T20 World Cup. Devastating losses against... It's better for Irie. Gets it round the corner, but again, that heavy outfield, on a normal outfield that would have run away. And remarkably, they've only run a single. I think Irie thought that was 4 or 6 from the moment it came off the bat, and he's just kind of stood there, isn't he?
And we kind of saw that once in the Canadian innings as well. At this point, you should know what the outfield is giving you, and just a bit careless there to not give in a full effort running between the wickets.
Another sweep shot, not made contact with. Nobody is finding rhythm or timing here. We'll get one more look at this. Keep your eyes on Irie. So he's hit this and he said, oh, happy days. 4, maybe 6. And then it kicks in. Oh no,
and
I've got to run.
Not doing much either. And that, you've got your captain out there. He's got to be leading the way. He's got to be setting the standard. And so when you see the captain not really moving his feet either, you can't point the finger then, can you?
That for me, Vivek, is sloppy and very unlike Dipender Singh or Ian Rowe-Powell. They're usually so good between the wickets. But the point I was just going to make about those 2 games in St. Vincent, yes, on tricky batting surfaces. Nepal boldly all but over for Nepal. They were sensing a historic first ever victory over a test nation. With 7 overs left, they were 82 for 2, needing less than 5 runs per over, and they were literally all but over the line. They ended up not quite getting there, losing by 1 run in those dramatic circumstances with Gulshan Jha at the crease, as Aaron Johnson is now the latest Canada fielder to go off the field. But then a couple of days later, they played Bangladesh. They bowled them out for 106. In fact, at one stage it was 88 for 9. It was an 18-run 10th wicket partnership that got Bangladesh up to that, and they couldn't chase that total either. They were bowled out for 85, taken apart by Tanzim Saqib, who took 4 for 7, including 2 maidens. So there's those demons. They're fresh in the mind, aren't they? They're the last T20s that Nepal played.
That'll leave some scars for sure. But hey, the only way you're going to get out of a situation, and sometimes you know, you look at that South Africa match, how close they were. They would have been feeling that anticipation, that pressure of, oh, can we get over the line?
Yeah, you can see that this is a great piece of running from Dipender Singh. He's so quick, no one's going to out-sprint him. I don't think many others would have got there. Akhil Kumar did wonderfully well and was very athletic to flick the ball onto the stumps, but they'll scamper through for the run.
Great work from Akhil Kumar to make it a close call there, and he just needed to run all the way through, and he did well to get in the crease.
Just the speed, isn't it, of Irie that's got him home there. But you can see that I think Powdell and Irie have identified this as an over. They've got a target. Pace on the ball. They've got to find a couple of boundaries in this, the 15th. But another one just keeping low. Good skills from Akhil Kumar. Nepal, they're in real trouble here.
And to your point, you know, it hasn't kept low all day, and that's what leaves that seed of doubt. You don't know which one's going to keep low, and that plays minds on you, and all of a sudden that odd one keeps low. You've got to watch out for that every single time.
I think if this gets up north of 10 runs required per over, Nepal may not be able to come back from that 8.4, the required run rate right now. Well, that's into the slot, but long on is in place. Badger, who's back onto the field, he's slipped. Irie wants the second, but Powdell sends him back. Still no boundary.
And it's full. These are full pitch deliveries that Akhil Kumar is going for. That's the length that he's opted for, and it's working well for him so far. 3 runs from these 4 deliveries. If he can keep it that way for these final 2 balls, Canada will be very happy.
Last boundary was the first ball of the 9th over. That's more like it. Whipped away, and it will be 4. My oh my, how they needed that, Nepal. And who else would it be but their captain, who delivers it for them. Beautiful flick of the wrists. Gets it in front of the man who's out at deep backward square leg, and he gets 4.
Well, we talk about the curse of the commentator. Nepal will be saying that's the blessing of the commentator. They needed a boundary. You talked about how it hadn't happened since the 9th over, and all of a sudden finds the fence.
The reverse jinx, the anti-jinx. Call it in. They so
needed
you had
a
this.
rooting interest in this one.
Angled in, that was the key, wasn't it? The angle that he's used and the pace on the ball, just a bit too full, and there's nothing that I think it's Sabin Safar out there could do about that. They'd love another one now. Equation 42 to win. Oh, innovation, but there's a man there, it's over his head! Wow. And it's back-to-back boundaries, 10 runs and 2 deliveries. A swing and a shift of momentum has them dancing in the sands.
And you said it, that you said that this would be the over that they would want to go after. Akhil Kumar, those first 4 deliveries, you would be absolutely thrilled with that. 3 runs. But now you get the 10 off the final 2 deliveries. Great innovation you see there to scoop it over. No chance for the fielder who was fine at third man. And
look at the innovation.
Brilliant.
It's almost the reverse scoop, isn't it?
Yeah.
Powdell his heart in his mouth for a moment, but it's only 57 metres down there. Gets us to the end of that 15th over. Have Nepal just swung the momentum their way. It's 88 for 5.
The new A and sour cream chips.
Let's go!
Try the new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger. Let's go.
Huge Nepal cheering section over there until those last two balls reach the boundary, and then bam, just like that, there goes the momentum.
And how good has that been so far, being the former captain? He's just so effective, isn't he, with his left arm spin, bowled into the surface. Irie couldn't get it anywhere. He goes for 6. It's 88 for 6. Here's Irie. He does love that shot, the short arm jab to the leg side. The problem is he's taking on the bigger boundary, and that's a very well judged catch by Navneet Dhaliwal going over his shoulder. Canada's fielding has been exceptional.
Fielding and bowling, I mean, they've really stepped up. We talked about how unlikely it was they could match the performance that we saw Nepal do in the first half of this match, but they've almost exceeded it seems like, especially with some of those spectacular diving catches.
Yeah, this is a big call. Got to tell you this, Matt, it's a big call. I thought it would have been Karen KC, who's got those big broad shoulders and can hit big sixes down the ground. Sampal Kami, not as capable a big hitter, but more effective technically. Maybe Monty Desai's just saying, I just want to tone things down, just find someone to get me 1s and 2s to get Powdell on strike, and then I'll keep Karen KC and Sandeep Lamachane up my sleeve. This game, it's on a knife edge.
Yeah, I mean, Nepal's trying to grind this out. That's what it's come down to. And sometimes games are like this. They're not all high scoring. This is a defensive masterpiece by both squads so far. Who's going to prevail?
You keep using that phrase, defensive, and I really like that. I think it's a perfect description of actually what the two fielding sides have done so well. Their bowlers are bowling well, but it's then be the team effort, the collective 11-man effort to squeeze that opposition.
Exactly. You want to squeeze as many runs on offense, and you want to squeeze as few on defense.
Can you think of games in your NBA career that, you like often cricket matches, you talk about being high-scoring classics, 250 plays 240 or something like that in a T20. This could be a low-scoring classic.
Yeah, exactly. Every possession matters that much more when it's low-scoring.
Down the leg side, that's going to help. That's a free extra, that's a wide. Canada have not bowled many of them, and every run is going to be critical. The equation.
That's what I'm saying. That's the point. Every run is critical. Every bowling is critical. You know, you hit it and you can run and squeeze one more run in. That's critical. It's like everything is magnified that much more when you have these grinded out, low-scoring games in any sport, but especially as I'm learning in real time with cricket as well.
Well, there's nothing quite like the tension and the drama that a close-fought international brings you, particularly a T20, and that's what we have in our hands here in King City. 16 bowled, it's 91 for 6.
Seba is giving back to the community and making sure that the community is taken care of. We do a lot of that at our temples and in the Punjabi community, and that's how I see the store. So it's a no-frills thing to do.
Well, what a fantastic contest we've got on our hands here. It really is. Nepal just haven't really been able to get anything going with the bat. Their captain is going to be the absolute key across these last 4 overs. He's got 35, the highest individual score from either side on the day. And now Nicholas Curtin thinks it's time to go back to his gun bowler. You think LeBron James in the NBA, think about this man. Think about Kalim Sandhu for Canada. He's the star with the ball.
He's the ace. I mean, if you're Nepal, you're running out of time here. I mean, there's only so many more balls left. Canada trying to, go in for the kill with their top ace.
Yeah, and what Nicholas Curtin will want here with the 2 overs of Sandhu left, he'll probably bowl 17. He could bowl 19, or actually what he might do is he'll come back from the other end and he'll keep him for the final over, the 20th. Nepal require over 8 runs per over. And it's just so difficult against Sandhu with that extra pace And what we have seen from this surface is a little bit of inconsistent bounce. Some are keeping a bit low, and then others like that coming up higher to the batter. Difficult to judge.
Yeah, I mean, the more you can vary it, keep the batter off balance, the better. Try to take away all rhythm. You never want a team to get into rhythm. Seems like every time it seemed like Nepal was about to blow the lid off and start getting some momentum, and to get into that rhythm, Canada's made a big play.
You can hear the hush descend over the ground. Bowls him, and that is Kaleem Sana all over.
Wow.
Straight through, top of off stump pit, and now Nepal have lost 7.
Ice in his veins. Huge play. I mean, talk about high pressure moments coming down the stretch here. Take a look at this replay. Wow.
It's a little inside edge, isn't it? He's unlucky. I thought it was straight through at first, but it's actually been dragged on by Sampal Kami, so that's the latest one to fall. He is gone for 1, and Nepal are in all sorts of trouble here. 92 for 7. Here's the equation. 32 to win off 22. We've got a classic on our hands here. And it's Kaleem Sana with the ball. Another surprise for me. It's not Karen KC. They're holding the Valentine's Day hero all the way back till number 10. It's going to be Sandeep Lamachani. He tends to play very aggressively, prefers facing spin to pace. Can Kaleem Sana get another? No, not yet. Lamachani does his job, gets a single, critically gets Powdell, the captain, back on strike.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about every run counts when you're on offense, but if you're Canada, you're happy with that. You're giving up 1 run per ball, and you're going to win this match.
Yeah, and critically, if you can maybe make it 10 runs required per over in the last 2, that's going to be a tall task, particularly with only 3 wickets left in hand for Nepal. If Powdell can get a boundary here, though, off Sana, you just wait for the roar. You can feel a tension just all the way around King City. The capacity crowd, they are on edge. Guided away, but deep thirds in place, so it will just be a single. How impressed have you been with the way Canada have fought back here?
Very impressed. I mean, I haven't seen enough T20 cricket matches, cricket matches period, to understand the macro dynamics within the match. But from, basically at halftime, as I would call it, when we switched over and Canada took the field, it was looking bleak. Nepal had all the momentum, their crowd was going nuts, and yet here we are, like you said, gearing up for an instant classic.
Definitely going to the 20th over this one. Good Yorker delivered in by Kaleem Sana. That's what he'll try to do. You see the way he's coming around the wicket here. So the left armour, he's angling it in. He's trying to get it as full as he can in toward those stumps. Therefore, just completely restricting the boundary options for Nepal.
Yep, smart strategy. As long as you execute it, right? You talked about you got that little space you need the ball to hit, and if you don't, it could be goodbye, 6 runs.
Bowls him, it's another one chopped on, and it's the Kaleem Sana effect. Is that the match for Canada? The captain for Nepal, who's fought so ably all the way, he's now gone. It's a similar-ish dismissal to that of Sampal Kami off the inside edge. Just the one bail comes off, the leg stump is kissed, and Sana, well, he always finds a way, doesn't he? How good has he been?
Just amazing bowling right here when they needed it most. Pressure's on. You're coming down to these last few overs. need to make big plays, and he's really stepped up. Body language says it all right now. You look at the Nepal team, the captain kind of slugging off this replay.
And again, look at the angle. It's the angle that just causes difficulty for those right-handers. You could just see Powdell. He's trying to run it down to deep third for a single to keep the strike and to maybe take all the responsibility, but he's been bowled for 37. Have Nepal's hopes disappeared with their captain? The score now at the end of the 17th with just 3 remaining. It's a 95 for 8.
The all-new Nissan Kicks. Ready for whatever you're into. Get your kicks.
Back into the action, and what a big wicket and what a big moment to get it for Colleen Sana. This game coming down to the wire. Just chopping it on the skipper of Nepal, getting that leg stump, and Colleen Sana is so effective. Every time he comes on with the ball, there's always a chance of a wicket. It's going to be Akhil Kumar coming in from the north end.
So many huge plays by this Canadian defense today. Just momentum changing or momentum killing plays when it looked like Nepal was starting to get things going. What a performance.
Well, the wickets really pegging away the progress that Nepal's tried to make today. Credit to the bowlers of Canada. Nowhere close to that, trying to give himself some room. Well, there's one thing that we know about Sandeep Lamichhane is he's a very exciting fella out in the middle. He's no one to just stand around and let the ball control him. He will make those chances. He will try and get a shot out of nowhere. He's going to need to try and find some bat on ball very quickly. This game coming down to the wire. The wickets now. That'll be a big concern for Nepal. They've only got 2 left.
But at the same time, they need runs. They can't play conservative. I mean, if I'm Nepal right now, I'm not worried about the wickets.
Well, it gets a hold of that one, and that's a tracer bullet straight down the ground. Smashing into that side screen. 6 runs to Sandeep Lamichhane.
And right on cue, just what I was saying. You've got to stay aggressive. Much needed 6 right there for Nepal, trying to keep themselves scratch and claw this victory coming down the stretch. Take a look at this replay.
We cleared his front foot, just allowing for his hands to free through the line, and he got some distance on it as well. Power, distance, and 6 runs picked up.
It's like the Maple Leaf Cricket Grounds version of the Green Monster out there. Shortest part of the field, as Lenny was saying too.
And always the safest as well. You're never going to have a fielder straight down the pitch. Well, Akhil Kumar is going to be under a little bit of pressure here. Nepal need 23 from 15. Giving room again, and the semi goes leg side. Plenty of protection there. They pick up 2 runs. It's the skipper, Nick Curtin, in the deep.
Nepal showing some life here. After that last wicket, the body language, it looked like they were done. But here they are. They got some momentum. Crowd starting to get back into it.
And the crowd does play a big part in it, doesn't it? Just helps pick you up. Big miss.
I think especially for these national teams, you're representing your country. You're halfway across the world. To have this many fans show up, it has to mean something.
I was at a World Cup game recently, the T20 World Cup that was in the U.S. It was Netherlands against Nepal, and I can tell you there were 4 Dutch fans in that entire stadium. About 11,000 Nepalese fans. Just a sea of blue and red. Well, he's looking for the wide, and that definitely wasn't high enough for it. Again, just questioning Sandeep Lamichhane to Arnold Medela, who's the leg umpire. This is going to be the end of the 18th. Nepal 103 for 8.
TD is supporting cricket in more ways than ever. because we believe Canada needs more cricket. Hassan! TD, ready for you.
Well, the bowling figures for Canada. Kalim Sana, 3 wickets to his name again. No surprise there. And everyone apart from Ansh Patel has been fairly economical, given that it is a low-scoring game. 21 now, the equation from 2 overs. 12 deliveries. You just feel the tension out here. It means so much to both sides to pick up a win for their team, for their country. And it's the first game of this T20 series. You want to start it off on a high.
That's definitely what we're doing with this match.
Oh, that's just past the diving hands of Shreyas Mova. 4 runs, and it looked like it might have come off the gloves. Kalim Sana getting the bouncer in. The direction could have been better. Going down leg, given the treatment. Important runs, this.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see that coming. I don't think that's what the batter necessarily intended, but Nepal will take it. Take a look at this pitch. He swings backwards. It kind of came on the other side of the batter. Able to just kind of guide it behind him, almost off the knuckles for 4 runs. Much needed 4 runs. Definitely shaping up for an exciting finish here.
Well, moving inside the line of the ball. And how close is this going to be? Needed better direction. They might be in trouble here. The throw has gone to the right end, and that's going to be another wicket. The 9th one goes down after a shocker. That second run was never on.
What a throw-in right there. I mean, the amount of times this match has shifted momentum, Manali, where you think something's going to happen, then it doesn't. You know, we talked about Nepal needs to be aggressive, trying to squeeze out that extra run. Ended up backfiring on him right there after a very heads-up.
Well, Karan Casey had been called down for the run. The first one was on.
Yeah, at first I'm like, why would you even go for that? Like, and 1 run's fine.
He ran so far past the crease.
Yep.
No chance to get back for the second.
He's just going to say, I did that on purpose. We work on that. We practice that. It's like the fumble Ruski, like, you think I threw it by mistake, but I didn't. So we'd get you to go for one and get you out.
Karan Casey gone for 5 off 2 deliveries. And you just feel it might be curtains here for Nepal. Yes, they still are in the game in terms of run to ball equation, but when you're 9 wickets down, it doesn't give you much room.
Yeah, I mean, especially you're down this many runs, you got to go for it. We'll see if this game ends with the 10th wicket. But that's a huge one because you lose that insurance wicket, you know, just mentally. It just adds that much more pressure to the Nepal batters.
A new batter out to the middle. Rijin Dakal, he comes out, he's off the mark, first ball. It's now 15 off in 9 deliveries. And you feel that it might need to be Sandeep Lamichhane who carries the side home here. But for Canada, it's either 1 wicket or just 9 decent deliveries. They've really pulled this game in their favor, Canada. Not the best of outings with the bat today. So credit to their bowlers.
Yeah,
and those 2 incredible catches.
Absolutely. And that last wacky wicket we got.
Well, giving himself too much room. This might be trouble. He's got to go back. Sent back by Navneet Dhaliwal. You don't want to lose this game on a run out.
No, you don't. Canada inching to the finish line here. It's all about execution down the stretch in any sport when it gets close like this. Going to maintain the focus. They've been out here for well over 3 hours. It's between the ears right now.
And this is the quicker version of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Now we got to bring you in for a 50 over game. Tell me how much concentration that requires.
We're going to need to order some more pizza if that's the case.
Oh, he's going again. He's going again. Needed a direct throw, and it would have been the end of Sandeep Lamichhane and the innings.
Another miscue running for Team Nepal there. I mean, if your Team Nepal doing the math here, you must be thinking, like, if we can get 2 6s and a 4. But here we go.
Well, that was an inside edge as well. That's a drop catch.
Yep. Cost him a little time as well.
Normally so good behind the stumps.
But, 2 6s and a 4 gets you the win.
Well, that's gone high up in the air, and it's Kalim Sana getting under it. He does the job off his own bowling, and that's going to be the game. Canada have pulled off an exceptional win here. Disappointment for the Nepal fans who've come out in numbers to support their side.
What a win.
What a win indeed, Matt.
That's a great first match for me. That's a great first T20 match for anyone else out there who's new to cricket. Exciting ending. Just a masterclass by the Canadian bowling and defense to pull that out. And you can tell by the team's reaction and body language. They're pumped.
Well, this is what you want to see.
Yeah. Wins like this can bring teams together. I'll be interested to see how Team Canada can build off this moving forward in the rest of this no-frills T20 series.
Wins like this bring you together as a team, but wins like this, games like this, bring the fans in, and they bring them in hordes. What a game of cricket we've had today. Canada win by 14 runs, and Nepal, while they did the job with the ball today, they just couldn't finish it with the bat, and credit to some exceptional bowling from Canada. They're led off the field by their skipper Nick Curtin, and his handshakes all around between the two sides. 5 more games to come. There's still chance here for Nepal to pick up a few wins and come out on top, but Canada's not going to be sitting around watching.
No, and that's how you want to start a series like this, on such a high note. I mean, they proved something to themselves, it feels like, on the defensive end. You get the bats going too, you got a dangerous squad right here.
A beautiful day, a beautiful game of cricket. And it was a party here.
I know I was talking to Lenny earlier, being new to the T20 series. It's kind of rare to see a match end with 10 wickets, but that's what we saw here today. And much needed, too. I mean, you got to think, if Team Canada had to bowl all those balls, 2 6s and a 4, Nepal could have pulled that out with only 3 balls. So really did come down to the wire, and those diving catches proved the difference in the match, in my opinion. I mean, that's the difference between winning and losing, those 2 highlight plays that Canada was able to make on the defensive end.
More team huddle out there for Team Canada. As we take a quick look at the Nepal batting card, the openers started well, started aggressive, just couldn't kick on from there. Rohit Podal, the skipper, 37 from him today off 39 deliveries. Kushal Malla, double digits as well. A late push in the end from Sandeep Lamichhane, 10 off 11, but just not enough runs in between there. All in all, a decent effort with the ball for Canada as we take a look at the bowling figures.
Yeah, we'll see who gets player of the match, but play of the match, take your pick. There were multiple.
Well, really good figures for Kaleem Sana. 4 wickets to his name today. Exceptional with the ball, and that beautiful catch in the deep. Wickets for Praveen Kumar, Akhil Kumar, and Saad Zafar, another contender for top bowling performances. 3 wickets to his name today.
Yeah, definitely a team effort for Canada. Everybody pitched in and contributed to this win, especially with that defensive performance. And that's what we're talking about with being a team sport. You need everybody to show up and execute and make plays, and today everybody did.
Well, all in all, it was a tough time with the bat for Canada, thanks to some good bowling. Sandeep Lamichhane, pick of the bowlers for Nepal this morning. And small contributions brought Canada to the total of 123 for 8. In the end, Nepal, while they were good with the ball, just couldn't finish the job. 109 all out, thanks to some really good performances from both Kaleem Sana and Saad Zafar. Canada win this contest by 14 runs. We're going to take a short break here in the comms box, and we'll be back with the post-match presentation.
The all-new Nissan Kicks. Ready for whatever you're into. Get your kicks.
Teva is giving back to the community and making sure that the community is taken care of. We do a lot of that at our temples and in the Punjabi community, and that's how I see the store. So it's a no-frills thing to do.
TD is supporting cricket in more ways than ever. Because we believe Canada needs more cricket. Hassan! TD, ready for you.
The new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger.
Let's go.
Juicy grass-fed beef, topped with Ruffles cheddar and sour cream chips.
Let's go!
Try the new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger. Let's go.
As a business owner, you have a responsibility to give back to your community.
We hire local and we serve local.
Breakfast program, school program for kids.
Seniors bus program, providing transportation to and from the store.
The all-new Nissan Kicks. Ready for whatever you're into. Get your kicks.
As a business owner, you have a responsibility to give back to your community.
We hire local and we serve local.
Breakfast program, school program for kids.
Seniors bus program, providing transportation to and from the store.
Ambassador of Nepal. This guy's giving the award.
They're both giving the award.
No, he just said he's not. Amjad Bajwa just came up to me and said this.
Well, just been told the opposite. So,
देखो मीटर हो रहा है उसमें देखो मीटर जाता है नो 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 कैमरे में देखो कैमरे में स्मॉल वाले में हेलो
नयाँ रिनको ब्राइट लकले टेक्नोलोजीले तपाईको ढुङ्गालाई नयाँ जस्तै चमक नयाँ रिन ब्राइट लकले टेक्नोलोजीको साथ नयाँ जस्तै चमक
Start with the captain of Nepal. That's Rohit Paudel. Rohit, commiserations. That must be a heartbreaking defeat. Let's start with the bowling. You were excellent there with the ball and in the field. Were you happy with the total that you restricted the Canadian side to?
Yeah, absolutely. I think as a bowling unit, we bowled really well, especially the way we started. Rejan and Karan started, and then Som Dai, Dippy Dai, Sandy Dai, everyone contributed really well. So as a bowling unit, I think everyone was right up to the mark.
Fielding was exceptional as well. It felt like your energy levels have come up and maybe the acclimatization's really kicked in towards the end of this tour. That's where you need to be at.
Yeah, I think so. Especially coming out of the ODI games and then coming into the shorter format of the game, the energy was absolutely high. So yeah, as a fielding unit, I think we were up to the mark also.
Is there a bit of a pattern developing here? You're often doing brilliant things with the ball and in the field, but the batting performances in recent times, they just haven't been up to mark. Can you identify where it's going wrong?
Yeah, absolutely. I think as a batting unit, one of the top order need to step up. Especially, I think as a batting unit, we talk about accountability. The shots which we played, I think that was not that great. Especially when you're chasing 124 runs on the board, and I think one small partnership was required. And I thought as a batting unit, we didn't do that. So yeah, as a batting unit, we need to step up if we want to win away from the home.
Your top scorer 37. After that, the next highest score in the innings just 12. Is it a mental thing? Is it a technical thing? Where is the batting going wrong right now?
I think it's not a mental thing, especially you need to come out of your comfort zone, especially when you know the things are not going great. One of our batsmen need to step up and show to the whole team that this is how we win. So I think it was a great opportunity for me to do that. Unfortunately, I could not do that. So yeah, next games as a batting unit we need to step up.
Okay, final question. The action, it comes thick and fast. Straight back into action tomorrow. You're yet to win in this tour. How important is tomorrow's game against Oman?
I think it's very important, especially for last 3 games in ODI and 1 game in T20. We didn't have one single game, so yeah, we need a momentum, and so I think tomorrow is the game.
Commiserations today. It was a really entertaining game. Hard luck.
Thank you.
Okay, that's Rohit Powell, understandably very disappointed. Time now to speak to Nicholas Curtin, the captain of Canada. Nick, congratulations. How have you done that? You've really pulled it out of the fire.
Yeah, obviously after the first 5-10 overs we realised it wasn't really a 160 wicket, so obviously we were still 10-15 runs short, but we knew with our bowling attack and these conditions that once we bowl well and feel well that we would be in with a chance.
Let me ask you about the pitch. It looked to us visually like a good pitch. The Croatian team thought it was 160, 170. Was it just trickier than that? Was it keeping a bit low, or what was happening out there?
Yeah, even at the toss, like I was considering batting first, to be honest. So I think that's what made it tough. And then obviously credit to their spinners, they bowled well, and we probably lost a little bit too many wickets in the first half, so we weren't able to really capitalise on the last 5. So I think maybe probably 140, 150 would have been par.
What about the talk at the halfway stage? Did you genuinely believe you could defend a total as low as that?
Yeah, as I said,